Hello YouTube, my name is Stuart Irongossman McCown, and we're back again today with, well, a bit of a different video to normal. So, actually, the channel started in this way, where Luke, who's my co-host, which I'll introduce in a second, we used to do these review shows for this TTS event that we're running, and that's what we're going to do today. Before we get into it, how you doing, Luke? It's been a while since we've had it on the channel, but hey, we're back. That's what matters, right?
I'm grand, thanks. I've been let out my cage. I've been released back into the beast, really. I'm here to play some Warhammer and chat with you about all the lists at this tournament. This is our 6th one that we've done on Release the Beast, right? So we've had a few of them done now.
Yeah, and we've sort of done we've done some singles events, and more recently I've been doing the team events, mainly due to my changing philosophy on the value of singles events over the years. We'll kind of talk about that today, but yeah, I'm really excited to run a team event, and to me this is what Age of Sigmar is really about, and it's good that we can kind of do an interesting format that's less feasible in real life, which we'll talk about in a second. Yeah, for those of you who are new to the channel, I encourage you to check out the other videos. Hit subscribe if you like it. If you don't like it, it's totally fine. You can leave and never come back.
Yeah, you're welcome here. Oh, it's been a while, Stuart. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I'm looking forward to it. How have you been anyway?
I've been good. I got back home very late this morning from a night out, and some people got some misdirected WhatsApp messages of people sending voice recordings, and yep, there was some interesting shenanigans yesterday. But it was a bit of a struggle today to do all this list and admin stuff while I was extremely hungover. But I'm good now. I've had a nap. I've taken my electrolytes. We've done all the recovery exercises to be ready for the extravaganza that we're about to get into. So
extravaganza it's going to be, absolutely.
So I think the format, basically, we're gonna talk through the pack, just like not in huge detail, but just so people who have usually been watching the YouTube channel for other reasons can kind of get more of an idea about like what the heck Release the Beast is, because a lot of people told me like, why are you doing this thing, and how does it relate to any of your other channel content? And the answer to that is, well, I mean, it's all great and all for me to talk about Age of Sigmar, but at the end of the day, Age of Sigmar is a tournament game. Like this is what Age of Sigmar is tournaments, and for me, like among the tournaments, team tournaments are the absolute pinnacle. So that's why I'm talking about it on the channel, and it's a good chance also to get a view on what the metagame is going to be like heading into this new General's Handbook, right? We've got about 100 lists here. Actually, I think more than that. Over 100 lists, yeah.
Yeah, over 100 lists.
In the new meta, and you're going to get to see also like the priority, because we have, there's only a limited number of lists that you can take on your team, so you're going to get to already get a sense of the tier rankings of things in the upcoming meta. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Release the Beast in particular, you had this server going a little while now. Obviously, this is our 6th tournament, but it's been going on, and obviously the TTS stuff started over sort of lockdown during the pandemic. But since then, and since people have been playing in real life again, Release the Beast in particular has become a bit of a filth fest of a Discord server. Really, it is where a lot of the players that go to Worlds, there's a lot of players that play tournaments regularly, kind of practice, right? And they practice their lists, and they design their lists, and then every now and then they come together in their tournaments that you've been running, Stuart. And so this is pretty much the peak of the peak, right? This is some top stuff. We're expecting some top players and top lists to be turning up here. And having had a quick look at the list, there's definitely some nasty, cheesy things going on.
Oh, it's filth, but yeah, you're right. It has become the filth server for sure. And I think some people do feel a little bit intimidated about joining the event because of that. And that's fair.
Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, absolutely, always welcome. But I just want to say, if you are too worried about it being too cutthroat, and you're interested in playing in maybe a more low stakes tournament, Pete over at Warhammer has been running TTS events recently, and I really recommend those for getting some reps in and like meeting new people and kind of doing the usual singles tournament journey that you would normally have with an army. That it's great for that. And I'm sure Pask also will have some singles events upcoming. So, yeah, right now for me, team events are more the priority. But I also understand that can make it can be a little bit scary for sure. And you've also got to know people. So, yeah, I would like my vision of the TTS infrastructure is kind of like you play the singles events, and in that you sort of meet people, you get like, you know, reps in with the army, and then once you do that, you start to join the team events, and that's where the real, you know, properly competitive Warhammer I think happens, right?
Yeah, towards the end of the Warhammer journey, obviously, hopefully amalgamating in tournament wins for people getting their 4-1s, their 5-0s, people getting team events, being part of the winning team, and obviously this can happen at 1 days, at 2 days, and then obviously there's the TTS long weekend formats, long week formats, because this is going to be over a couple of weeks. So tell us a bit more about the format of this tournament, Stuart.
Yeah, all right. So we'll just jump in quickly to the pack. I'm not going to go into all the like admin crap, but I mean basically where are dates? Yeah, like yeah. So basically we have 10 days to play all the games, and that includes doing the matchups. So you get face up against a team, and you and the captain, you know, join a voice call in Discord or just do over text, and you do the matchups, and then you have 10 days to play the games. So yeah, there's heap of time this time. We did 1 week last time, and there were just too many like drops and games not being played. So I've extended it back to 10 days, like it was a while ago. Yep. Now, other than that, it's pretty standard in terms of, you know, it's 2,000 points, 8 of Sigmar. There are list restrictions. So this is normal to team events, but you can't, like, War Scroll duplicate between armies. You can only take, you know, command traits in artifacts and most enhancements once. And then grand strategies and Galatian enhancements, you know, the aspect of the champion enhancement can be taken twice each. Yeah, I think some people...
It adds a nice dynamic, because there's people that have to, like, you can have a list, maybe like a Zinch or a Lumineth list that's a bit greedy on like things like endless spells and command traits and things like that, if you want the Arcane Tome and the cogs and the spell portal, or you spread them out across your team. So it does add a nice dynamic, and it just means there's a bit more variety in the lists.
One of the things that so I'm playing in the tournament as well, but one of the things we experienced was like there was like 6 armies where we're just like, this army's only good if it's got Arcane Tome. Like if it doesn't, you're literally paying like 120 points for a 1-cast wizard. Like Stormcast is a classic example of that, where like almost none of the wizards are worth it, because some dude with an Arcane Tome, it just saves you like 100 points. And then you're like, okay, is Stormcast good at 1900 points? And yeah, that's a difficult question. We set it on they are still good, but yeah, you are still losing kind of 100 points or just giving up on the whole wizard thing. So yeah, the Arcane Tome one feels a bit shit. And the other thing that's difficult, which I'm not sure if Worlds will have and other team tournaments, was the Galatian enhancement being limited. The reason that I did that is because I thought everyone and their dog would take Tunnel Master.
And they would have done, Stuart, but you made it so we couldn't. So now we're going to see things like Stubborn as a Rhinox, which you would never see otherwise. So
yes,
I
which is
appreciate
terrible.
The service you have done to the Rhinox.
Yeah, I think I can't remember what tournament it is from Netherlands. But it's I think it's Missoura's tournament. He put out some like really great stats on the
Alliance Open.
Yeah, I think it's that event. And it was like I think 28 Tunnel Masters, and then the next one was like 6 or something.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, okay, that's the best one for sure.
Finish off the what else is going on format wise? Is there a team list? So how are the pairings going to be?
Yeah, so basically we have 2 parts to the matchup process. There's a lot of reasons I've done this, but the main thing is just avoid, you know, some guy has Gargants and can just like guarantee that he gets Realms don't cash, and you know, that kind of thing. So
except he'll still lose because Gargants are trash. But
yeah,
moving on.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, basically in the first process it's like super simple. So we have like attacker and defender. It's just random. You get assigned one of these, and then we have this maps process. So all of the maps from the GHB are in. So there's 12 of them, and you each are going to get to ban 2 battle plans, and then basically you alternate setting down what map will have what battle plan. So that's the first stage, okay? And then in the second stage, I'm not going to like fully explain this, but basically you do the usual team format thing. So in each map, so the blue card here is the defender, and then the attacker puts 2 cards down, and you pick the defender picks 1 attacker to play against. The interesting thing about this format, though, is we have bans. So you notice as we're going through the list that all of the teams have 6 players, and some of them have a sub that's allowed, but they have 8 lists. And the reason for that is that 2 armies will get banned, and at kind of different points in the army process, you only have 6 to play with, but like your opponent could maybe ban off like your Lumineth or like your Gits or some like strong army. Now that happens once at the start, and then after map 3 there's 2 bans. And as a balancing factor, I've put in that after the map 6 matchup, the attacker can swap battle plans of 6 and 2, which is actually huge, but kind of depends on how it goes.
Defender balance right has been something that's been quite difficult to achieve over all these tournaments and different formats and things like that. And it's weird because it's really hard to work out how balanced it'll be, and then it's only after the tournament's been played, been like, oh yeah, attacker was really good, and I was defender 6 times, and blah blah blah. So,
yeah.
But I can see that this working. I can see this working. I think it's exciting for this. We're just trying to get as balanced as possible, right?
Well, balanced in the sense that it's that each of them have a unique strength. I've tried not to just make them equal because I think that's boring. Instead, it's like
it's impossible also.
Yeah, it's also impossible. Yeah, so I've tried to just have them have like a unique strength. So defender gets to decide the matchups more, and attacker has just got much more grasp on the maps. And I think it kind of depends on the meta and what armies you have on which of those is better. But I think there's some equity there for sure. Yeah. Okay.
And there is all of this stuff is in the pack in the Discord, and I know our guy Mitch has made a little, quite a simplified version of this to help people get their heads around it. So check that out on the Discord, and obviously read the pack. And once you've got this understood, it adds a really cool dynamic to the matchup process.
Okay, I've just been told Luke's audio is a bit low, so I'll just bump him up. That's very helpful, by the way. This is a good part about streaming, because it gets fixed straight away.
I can start shouting if you want. I can put my orc voice on.
That's all right. I'll just bump you up a bit. Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cool. So, let's get into the list then. So, we have a lot of teams, and I've been using the incredibly high-tech technology known as Google Docs, because we used BCP last time, but the problem with BCP is, okay, so we would like receive the lists and then put them on BCP under the team name, but then the problem is that no one could see any of the lists because you have to be in the tournament. And so I've just decided to just do everything by Google Docs and Google Sheets with like some Python code for the list checking that I spent yesterday doing. So that's what we're gonna do. So anything else you want to say, Luke, before we jump straight into the list?
Bloody excited, man. There's some great teams, some great people here, some old friends, and some new faces. So I'm looking forward to see what people are bringing. Okay,
so what we're gonna do is start off with one of the French teams. So we have 3 French teams. They're bringing the big guns. They're bringing the. I'm actually
like 18, 15 all over again. It's mental.
I'm like super grateful for the support from the French scene, because I know the French scene has like, you know, a very strong, like semi self-contained scene. So I'm super happy that they're playing in the event this much. So we have the Croissant Eaters. Okay, let's just get into their lists. There are the members.
Who's in the team? Yeah.
I have to admit, I don't know a lot of these guys. So one of the things that they do in France, which is different to other countries, is they use like aliases. You know, they use gamer aliases. for Warhammer.
Like all the esports professionals do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
know Yorin, who's on here, and he was one of the major people, like helping bring a bunch of French people over to the event. So I'm super grateful about that. And yeah, now just their team comp. Okay, so they have 1 KO, Stormcast, Tzeentch, Nurgle, Lumineth, Gitz, Nighthorn cities. So
Sounds pretty strong to me.
I think this is pretty bloody strong. Yeah. Now the one that's interesting to me is the cities. So I think we'll look at that in particular. But yeah, like I think this Carol Drone list is really interesting. It's not necessarily what you would normally see, for sure. Like he's got a prime in there.
Yep.
He's got like 2 units of 5 Thunderers, and he has 3 frigates. And no Ironclad.
Swapping out the Ironclad for the frigates here. I think a couple of the lists at the event have done this. So let's quickly touch on. We're not going to go in super in depth for every list, but when there's a slight change or something that we've seen from previous events, let's pick up on it. So why are we seeing frigates instead of Ironclads, do you reckon?
I think just because they went down in points. I think that's probably the reason why.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think there's.
Pretty much.
I'm not a super KO expert, but that's what I would expect the situation is. Yeah.
No, and it's also nice to see like a few more things like Gunstock Thunderers and our Arcanauts taking advantage of the Sharpshooter Battalion, which I think this list has done as well. So they're being put in the boats, so then you can actually get some hero sniping, which is obviously huge in the meta at the moment with the Galatian champions otherwise not being able to be shot. So I think this list is going to want to be put into things where it can take out key buff pieces. Like other Gits lists and things like that are going to fear the KO for sure.
Mm. Yeah, I think the raw damage output is maybe not as high as the Ironclad, but it has more like board flexibility and a bit more like range actually than the Ironclad one.
The heavy sky cannons, because most of the Ironclad damage is done with like the torpedoes and the carbines and stuff, but the frigate's got this big main gun with a 36 inch range, so it should be able to reach out from far. It's also got a vortex in it because it's KO, which is basically a KO war scroll at this point.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And then we got Stormcast. You're gonna see this little Knight Zephyros lad fucking all over the place today, I'm assuming.
He's new to the meta, right? He is basically a battle tactic machine.
He basically has like a little tunnel master machine next to him, just like clicks a little button and the tunnel opens up, and then he gets out. Just really good for battle tactics. And Stormcast really struggle with battle tactics because their book ones are kind of a little bit bin, so they need like mobile GCs, and these guys are just super cheap. So, other than that, it's dragons. Nice.
And Fulminators, they're still around too. Don't you worry.
Yep. And then we got Tzeentch list. We got Host Duplicitous with 30 pinks and stuff, and that's horrible.
This just makes me it just makes me ache. It just makes me hurt. We have had a little discussion on the Discord. Some people are taking it up. Some people are thinking about how they feel about it, about things like chess clocks and fast play and slow play and things like that. So we're seeing a lot of these 250. How many? 30 pinks, and a lot of Tzeentch stuff, and there's a lot of other horde lists. So let's just make sure that if we're using these lists that are used to deny space and take up objectives and stuff, that people hopefully are playing these quickly, because I've played games against 30 pinks that have lasted hours and hours and hours, and it's not fun. So shame on you, Tzeentch player. Shame on you. But that's a strong list, right? That's a strong list.
Yeah. And then we got Nurgle. This is played a lot in the French scene, as my understanding. Is like more demon-focused Nurgle. I think this list is amazing. Really solid against Gits, actually. I don't want to play this. Yeah, it makes you not pile in and then wins with summoning. It's good.
Sounds interactive and fun.
It's definitely not very fun, but there we go. We got Lumineth. I don't think this one has techless by memory. Yeah, it does not have techless.
This is the one with the cow? Yes.
With double cows. Yeah.
Double cow. Respect. you're not going to get a lot of respect from me for running Lumineth unless there's double cows or triple cows. But yeah, let's quickly touch on this. Well, it's going to be in your Metrica, right? Or is it in what's
It's in
the
Helon.
sub-faction?
Yeah.
It's
So
on Helon,
he's
okay.
using the cows more as just like bolt throwers, Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, their shooting attack's super good. So
I just wanna point out a rules interaction, which is this, right? Do you see that? This is just the most like
okay. No, please enlighten.
So
me
my understanding
how
is
the
Lore
enlightenment
Master
enlightens.
is when you take a spell enhancement, you get 2 spells, and then so that he has 2 spell enhancements, so he gets 4 spells.
So he's techless.
I just think it's so funny to you get 4 spell laws. Anyway, he's a Lore Master
so
basically.
Fed up with Lumineth, man. Oh god. Yeah, but yeah, not techless, so not everything that all the other lists are probably going to have techless and sentinel. So this is slightly different, but it's going to do similar stuff. Lots of spells, shooting damage and shooting damage even from the cows, and then with just that extra bit of melee punch and tank ability from the cows as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we have
I
Gits.
kind of like it.
We have Gits.
Gits, the new boys on the block.
I think they're absolute filth. I think I think you're gonna see a lot of lists like this where, to me, it looks a little like the fat hasn't quite been skimmed off yet. Like there's a lot of like toys in here. Like not to be overly negative, but I just think in general as Gits we just haven't found like the right we haven't found the net list yet. As Gits, so
everyone's got super excited about all these toys that they can see play in because there's so many overlapping buffs and everything does everything slightly differently. Everything in the book's got its place. It's the same with what we've been seeing Bok in our team when we're deciding what Bok list to bring. Everyone's just kind of like, let's just bring a bit of everything. So yeah, and these is happening because these are brand new books. I think this is one of the first tournaments that people are going to be bringing these battle tomes out. So I'm really looking forward to see how they get on. And then, like you say, we'll probably see them develop into the more tried and tested net list. This is the way to run this sort of thing. But this one's got a lot of squig herds in it.
Yeah, this is basically an MSU King's Gits army. So lots of different units with different buffs, and you're getting an average of 2 units back at the end of every turn, with the clammy hand and the reroll. So, I think is still really strong, but like more of the MSU style of Gits, which has always been really strong. But I do think the Battle Shock aura going away does make this actually slightly weaker than it used to be in a certain way. I mean, obviously not weaker because it got better, but you know what I mean. Yeah. All right, and then we have Nighthorn. Again, you're going to see heaps of Nighthorn.
Super strong, and I think this list has a bunch. Oh, this is a Blade Gas list. Okay.
It's Blade Gas with some other stuff.
It's Blade Gas, which are super choppy, in Scarlet Doom, which is the choppiest way to run Nighthorn. So that's just gonna punch absolute holes into stuff, and people are not gonna be like, "What do you mean you get -4 rend and I'm fighting last?"
Yeah, it's got that "what do you mean" like thing that OCR Bone Reapers had when it came out. Just anyway.
Yeah. It's like, are you sure? Yes.
And then we have Tempeside.
We've seen a few cities lists. Yeah, a couple of these popping up at the moment. This one's quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the Phoenix Guard are back baby kind of angle because Bounty Hunters is gone, of course. And so running this sort of like tanky cities list with Kronspine is pretty good. Yeah.
That's going to be hard to shift, and then obviously Shadow Warriors to pop over the board and secure objectives and things like that. Shards of Valagar popping up, Stuart. Been a while.
I think that's just purely to feed to the Kronspine. I think that's what that's for. Probably like portals somewhere else. I think it's probably Lumineth, so that's probably why they did that. Yeah. All right.
So that's the French team. Which one was that? Is that the frogs, the croissants?
That is the croissants.
Baguettes of the cheese. That's the croissants. So yeah, one of 3 French teams. Strong lists. All lists that I would say. All factions that are going to be in the top 10 factions, and I think they've got eight of them here. So looking to do super well.
Should we do a rating out of 10 for these lists, or what do you reckon? The team
for the teams in terms of strength, and
Yeah.
then we'll probably go through at the end of the list and pick out things that we think are really fun or have got a fun flavour to it or have captured our hearts. But in terms of just strength, from what I know about the French scene and from what I know about the factions that they've chosen here, this is a solid 8 in my book.
Yep.
This is strong list. Yeah,
I agree. Yep.
strong team. Speaking
Okay.
of strong teams,
Hey. Yeah. I'm super happy these guys playing. So
I'm
we have.
so glad when they popped up. I got so happy seeing them. This is obviously the Canadians, friends of ours. We've got, Jordan, Ridge, Pat, Simon, and Oliver, and Mateus as well, all representing the Canadians here, and they've got some interesting lists.
Yeah. So I'll just grab their team con quickly. So they've got Sylvaneth, Seraphon, Fire Slayers, Slaves of Darkness, Daughters of Cain, Disciples of Zinch, Skaven, and Magikid and Nurgle. So, yeah, I don't
Extra
think they have
flavour
a death
picks in there
army.
with Skaven and Sylvaneth, not necessarily in that top 10 of factions necessarily, but still with some strength, and especially in the teams format where you can get potential favourable pairings. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys can do with some of those lists. But they've still got their crutches. Ridge and his Seraphon. So it definitely keep an eye on these guys. What are they running, Stuart?
I just want to point out it's 4 order and 4 chaos with no destruction and death. So
That makes me really sad. Actually,
interpret what you will about that.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah, I was just going to say, oh yeah, they're bringing cool, edgy stuff, but as soon as you said that, I felt part of my soul die. Come on, guys. No, okay, but there's Sylvaneth, and I'm a big fan of Sylvaneth.
Oh, yeah.
So what's this Sylvaneth list
Yeah.
talking about?
So we have Gnarlroot, and we have I think the Dwindling is that's the ward, right?
No, Dwindling is the re-roll one of your casts or unbinds.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Because he's got the magic, so he's got the War Song, he's got Lady of Vines, and we're in Gnarlroot, so one of the casts is going to be the 3d6. I wonder which spell that's going to be, because it's definitely not going to be the War Song's War Skull spell, which is known as the War Song Bomb. Chucking it through trees. He doesn't have a Tree Lord Ancient to guarantee the tree, so against strong magic defense, he's kind of struggle. But again, this is a team tournament, so you can kind of get a bit of say over who you play against.
Yeah.
And then other than that, he's got some stuff, Dryads and Tree Revs to get objectives, and then his punch is coming in the form of Colonel Hunters with Size and Spike Rider Lancers with a Spike Swarm Hive to make sure they make their charges. Good stuff. I think this is solid.
I think pretty standard, but just good. Yeah, it's just a good list.
Playing against Sylvaneth, I normally play Sylvaneth, and I played a game against Sylvaneth the other day, and it is frustrating when you get punched and then they piss off back and you can't do anything about it, and then you look at these units and like, okay, it does a bit of damage, but then suddenly with the bomb and the shooting from Lady of Vines and stuff like that, you take quite a lot of damage without having any chance to hit back, unless you get like a mispositioning or a big double turn and things like that. So I think this is a good list to bring to a team tournament.
What I like about this list actually is that there's kind of a redundancy between Lady of Vines and Warsong. Like if you do fail the wood turn 1, you can just spend your 3d6 doing the 5-up ward and just kind of tank in the middle with Dryads. I like that. And if the Warsong like dies to some tragic event, which doesn't happen often, but it could, you've still got some other thing to use the allegiance with. Yeah.
Absolutely. Big fan of the Gnarlroot list. What else have we got going on with the Canadians? Oh,
we got some lovely Seraphon with Thunder Lizards with your usual stuff.
I'm gonna guess. I've not looked at it yet, Stuart. Is it Engine of the Gods and 2 Bastillodons by any chance? Oh,
how did you know?
No, I'm only joking. This is probably going to be run by our man Ridge, who, good friend of mine, good player. But we've seen this list and we've seen him go very well with it in other tournaments of ours in the past. And it's strong. It's still strong. I don't think it's necessarily the strongest list in the game anymore when it has been in the past. But it still does its thing, and it's going to want to be paired into things like Zinch and all the demons to get the extra damage on the Bastillodons. Slan, Unbinding, Broadwide, still super obnoxious, and then Bastillodons are unkillable unless you've got mortal wounds. So the one new thing here, though, Stuart, Hunters of Comanche with bowlers. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
the
they're
new
just
warband lot. Yeah.
yeah. All they do is just come down and get a battle tactic or something. Yeah.
I don't think they're too bad. I don't think they're too bad. The ones with the bulk spitters are kind of just like upgraded chameleon skinks, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then Horrorghast in there to make
Yeah.
Git players cry.
Yeah. Horrorghast is good in this list.
Yeah, super good. Fire Slayers, always good to see them.
Yep. Yep.
Is it? Maybe. But,
This is the Hearthguard one.
This one is the Hearthguard one. So it's still got one Magmadroth. So I always think one Magmadroth just for the extra bit of speed is, and it's the Slap Daddy on Magmadroth. So he's going to be,
I like that.
be punching some stuff. Yeah. And then is it 60 Hearthguard Berserkers?
And heroes.
So
and
this is
and a
going to
sneaky Grimwrath.
And mate, Grimwrath's good. The first one's always really good because he gets the best choice of the special Grimwrath powers. This is going to plonk down on objectives and basically be, come at me. Can you remove this many wounds and survive the onslaught? Because with all the extra rend popping out of the when they blaze their certain runes and stuff, like they will take you off the board. And it's one of those lists that's going to make you want to come towards them, and then you die. Not necessarily super good in a singles tournament, but I can see this being a really strong problematic list in the team setting where you can plonk it down on a certain battle plan or bully it, use it to bully other certain lists. So yeah, it's nice to see this. I think.
Yeah, personally, I think it doesn't hit as hard as you would expect. Like going back on what it used to do back in the day. Like I think now. I think the Volkites with Flamekeeper spam are like more of a hammer than the Berserkers.
They still do their thing though, and he's gone for a mix of board axe and pole axes, which I think is good. But yeah, I think it's like you said, it's more in the survivability. So I've just seen the leadership of the Alpha, which is triple rally on a 4-up, which is just disgusting. So
yeah, and just watch out for the for this thing because it's. Can ruin your whole day. The firewall. Just that thing is so annoying.
read into it if you don't want to get caught out by that. Have a look.
Yeah.
Slaves to Darkness next. Cabalists, which is fun.
I think this is more or less the copy pasta. So.
Is the copy pasta normally in Cabalists, or is it normally? I thought it's normally in one of the other ones.
Yeah, it is now. Yeah, the copy. It's basically 2 Sorcerer Lords, and then your choice of whatever your battle line's going to be, but probably Corvus Cabal, and then 10 Chaos Knights, 6 Vanguard, 10 Chosen with Bridge. Tends to be what people run. And there's like various gear differences, but it's something along those lines. It's kind of it's the vibe with this army. It's good. The Chaos Knights don't die. The Vanguard and the Chosen hit stuff. Yeah.
Don't die too much either, and it's again, it's one of those books where there's so much cool stuff in it, but it kind of, when you play against it on the table, it's like, this is kind of boring. It's what I thought.
So dull.
Like it's strong, but it does what it says on the tin, and it does it very well in terms of raw stats are really good. And it's kind of like similar to Stormcast in that sense, where it's everything's on a 3 or 2 up save, everything's got like 4 attacks each, it's hitting and winning you on 2s, and it just does its job. So. That's good.
Doc?
These lists are looking strong. And this is Doc next, so this is probably going to be piloted by our man Oliver.
Yep.
Who is a Doc player of note, that's for sure. He was at Worlds last year with Team UN, because unfortunately Team Canada weren't able to make it last year. They are this year, which I'm super excited about. But Oliver's already got his Worlds rep in, and he's been running Doc all this time. This time he's decided not to bring Marathi, but he's still got the bow snakes.
I think he has he just has the stabby ones, right? The melee ones.
He does, not the bow snakes, he's got the stabby snakes. Stabby snakes and witch elves. Unit 20 is scary, the witch elves and the sisters of slaughter. I like the mix of both, not having just witch elves or just sisters. I like having 1 unit of each. I think that's quite good, because they're similar but slightly different. The gladiatrix buff's gonna do its thing as well. And does he have the cauldron for the rally?
Yes.
Yeah. Has he got the command trait with the 4-up rally?
No, he does. Well, he does, but he doesn't have the triple issue. If you're thinking that.
Okay, no.
He has
But he's
the
still got the.
yeah the Melusa Iron Scale is the general, so he can make the Blood Sisters battle line.
Yeah.
Because he's in Hagnar, which is that's 100% the right one.
That's all I see. All I see is Hagnar. The occasional teleporty one, but I think Hagnar, because you're getting to that 5-up ward really quickly on a lot of these units.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Heart Renders are maybe a bit expensive at 100, but yeah, looks like a good list.
And Heart of Fury, which is
it's
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of reducing damage in melee, which is nasty. Speaking of nasty, Zinch.
Yeah, this list is amazing. Just summon the chicken with Be'lakor and then 10 pinks and 2 units, 10 Karak Acolytes and 3 spells. It's very good.
So what's this list doing? Is it blowing you off the table? Is it controlling space? Is it a DPS check? Because I'm still not too familiar with the new Zinch list.
I think this one is more of a kill box kind of list. It is a little light on bodies because it's not summoning blue horrors is the only thing I would say, but it's more got the hero killing and damage kind of aspect to it. Yeah.
Mortal wounds at 18-inch range. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not too good at dealing with like big hordes and stuff though, so that's something to watch out for sure. But in terms of
relatively elite damage,
yeah, in terms of like playing this versus like a bunch of like foot heroes or something, you just like murder stuff. It's great. Yeah. Zinch. It's good. Skaven. I love a bit of Skaven.
I'm just going to have to answer the door quickly, Stuart. I've got a parcel arrived. I'll let you know what it is. If you take me through what the rats are doing, and I'll get my parcel.
So I think a lot of Skaven lists at the moment are something along the lines of like you take a Warbringer and then you take some other big kind of thing. So like either like a Furnace or like Thankwall or like another, like a Deceiver. And then you have some foot heroes, and then you usually have some clan rats, and then it after that it kind of becomes whatever your kink is. So they've gone for gutter runners here in sharpshooters to do some like early game hero killing, and then we just have a bunch of clan rats on the board because they're hard to kill now because bounty hunters don't exist anymore. Yeah, what was the package, Luke? I think it's time for a bit of show and tell.
The unboxing video. What's in the box? It's like the end of 7. No. This, I think I know what this is. I've been doing some snooping around on the AOS buy and sell chat, and I have netted myself a bargain bin more pot for my ogres.
Nice.
Fantastic.
All right.
Please subscribe to the channel for more unboxing videos in the future.
For sure. Yeah.
We're still on the Canadian fellas, right? We've got some Nurgle popping up.
Yep, and the last list is Nurgle with Glotkin, and some Rotmire Creed, and a big unit of putrid Black Kings and some Nurglings just for objective capping and gooning around the board, and the Demon Prince for the no ward thing. It's a good list. I'm not 100% sure the Demon Prince is worth it, but yeah, solid.
No, I agree. The Demon Prince, but a Glot King at 650, when he is good.
Yep.
He's playable. Very, very playable.
Okay, so what do you think we're giving the Canadians?
I think with things like Skaven and it's strong but slightly different to the kind of the more meta list that we saw with the French team. But you've got some strong players in here, Jordan Ridge and Oliver. These all players that have been playing at a high level for a while now. So I'm going to give it a solid 7.
Yep.
Not to be underestimated.
Agreed. Yeah, nice. 100% agreed so far. We go. Okay, so
wow.
we have Team Wasted Potential, which is
great name.
Bit of a dark name. Come on, lads, we haven't started the tournament yet. I saw this.
I like the belief.
the lack thereof.
I'll tell you what though, I don't know these guys too well, but I did dance a little jig of joy when I saw on the Discord Celestant Prime Rib joined the Discord, because what a name. I like that. Big fan. What are these guys running, Stuart?
Okay, Zinch, Gitz, Nighthorn, Ogre Moor Tribes, Auric War Clan, Skaven, Slaves to Darkness, and Sylvaneth. So, big
Canadians,
mix
take
there.
note. There's some destruction players. There's some destruction in here, which is what you want to see. Orcs and Ogres, looking forward to seeing
One
those.
Order army that's Sylvaneth. So, They're in my good books.
Yeah, that's some respect. That's some respect.
Like, that's
there.
the order army
Bring
I'm
the
cool with,
worst.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Zinch, host
Which
Duplicitous.
is still strong. Yeah. More
with
what
a bunch of
we've seen.
pinks.
Is it lots of horrors? Yeah, lots of
It's
horrors.
lots of horrors and small heroes. And
Couple
some
of
stuff.
screamers and all the spells. So this is the fella we talked about it earlier. In the team setting, you're only going to get one of each end of spell, and this fella has bullied the rest of his teammates into letting him take the cogs and the and the spell portal. So this guy's clearly got some good negotiation skills, or he's taped them all to a chair and when he submitted the lists, and he's got all of the goodies. But that list is going to be one to look out for sure. Again, more of a control-y Zinch list, I think, with this one, with all the pinks blocking up space on the board and controlling objectives, but still punchy with all the mortal wounds.
Yeah, so one thing that's fun about this event, Luke, is if you as a team you go, I never want to play against Spell Portal the whole event, you can just ban it the whole event.
Ban Spell Portal.
Just see the list with Spell Portal, slam the ban button.
Ban it.
Spell Portal's banned. Yep, that's a good list. We'll move on. We have Gits.
More Gits.
With more of a Trog flavor.
Again.
Yep.
Yeah, but still in King's Gits, which is nice.
And this one also has a lot of toys. So I'll just, there's a surprise down the bottom we'll get to, but Trog Boss, Cave Shaman, Scragrot. Then we have 6 Fellwater Trogots and 2 units of 20 Stabbers. And then a Mangle Squig.
Tasty. That is tasty vomit on those Fell Waters, isn't it?
Yep.
Getting the extra end. Very good.
This is like, it's like a good movie plot. This list, it just gets better as it keeps going on, because it's like we've got a Mangle Squig, and then we've got a reinforced unit of Dankhold Trogots.
I looked at the War Scroll when the book came out, and I was like, when are we going to see the multiple Trogoth unit? And the Gobble Loser as well.
And Snufflers and...
awesome War Scroll. And
yep, and then we got the
buff
Shroom
the
and
stuff
Scuttle
and see what it does. Buff the stuff and see what it does. I like this. This is fun. This is fun as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the army is at such a crazy strength level that you can do this and not feel too bad about it. So obviously it's like definitely
Seraphon when we started people pissing around with Coxagore and stuff. And it's still wins tournaments.
This is definitely leaning into the Timmy archetype of list for sure. But I'm very supportive of the reinforced Dankhold Trogoth. It's just great.
What is your take on that War Scroll? Is it a good War Scroll? No. But is it still going to do really good when they're reinforced and have all the buffs on?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's decent. I just wish
maybe.
I don't know. I wish it could come back from the shrine. I know it's probably a bit unreasonable, but
most people bring one, so you get half a Trog. When they bring that model where it's just like half a melted Trogoth, and you can bring that from the shrine, I think that'll be fun. But for now, he's reinforced it to get all of his allegiance abilities. So I like that one. What else have these guys bring in?
Nighthorn, and it's Harridan's instead of Blade Guys.
So this is a team's list through and through, where it's like, oh, you see that Fire Slayer list with all of the Hearthguard Berserkers in it. I want to delete that because obviously Harridan's ignoring ward save. So if you're going against things like Nurgle or Fire Slayers, you try and use this list to bully that. And then if you get that matchup, it's pretty one-sided, isn't it?
Yep. So it's got 1 unit of 30, and then 3 units of 10, and then some support pieces around it, and the Spirit Host to shield heroes.
We've got the Spirit Host to block the heroes, because although we're not seeing as much of hero sniping with the shooting, we've still got that battalion, and we've still got mortal wound spell, bombs going around, Zeech going around, things like that. So I still like the Spirit Host to keep the important heroes safe.
Ogres.
We've got Ogre Mortars next. Underguts, which we're seeing a lot of.
Yep.
I have an unreasonably strong opinion on this list, and I don't know why.
Okay, what's the strong opinion?
It's all wrong. It's all wrong. It's Iron Blasters, which we're seeing a lot of, but it's not the real way to play ogres because shooting is cheating. Huskard, 50 points more gets you a Frostlord, buddy. That's an extra +1 to save, and all the amazing ability that you get on the Frost Lance now, which definitely comes up in every game that I've played it. When you roll that 6, it's just worth the 50 points. I think I would like to see perhaps the Stonehorn Beast Riders disappear, and the Mournfang become Lead Belchers, and get some Noblars in here, and then go for the. If you're going for the moving ogre gun line with all of the counter charge with the Blubbergub strength and stuff, I think having the Noblars and having the Lead Belchers at the front, they're just better war scrolls than things like Mornfangs and Stonehorn Beast Riders. He's gone for a bit of a mixed bag here with half Beast Claw and half Gutbusters, and it's not gelled with me. It's not gelled with me, I'm afraid. What do you think of this list?
I actually like the Mornfang with Iron Blasters, but yeah, I probably would prefer the Frost Lord. It probably just some points thing where it's better to just go to Stonehorns. Although personally, I just don't rate the Stonehorn Beast Riders that highly.
No, I think I personally think one Stonehorn with the Rockmane Elder, and that should be a Frost Lord. I'd rather have that than two subpar Stonehorns, because that's a lot of extra points. That's 710 points as opposed to 450, and I'd rather spend those points on things like Noblars or maybe even like a Tyrant or a Bloodpelt Hunter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so a mixed Underguts list, which is different, but I'm worried about the too many things going on rather than a cohesive list sort of thing. But
yeah, fair enough.
Prove me wrong, sir. Prove me wrong.
We have Iron Jaws. Of course, YouTube will know I'm like a prolific Iron Jaws hater, but I will say I like Iron Suns. Okay, so this kind of coming back a little bit. The more foot-sogging Iron Jaws army with lots of heroes and brutes and stuff. And I believe, yeah, this is in that archetype. This is really strong. It's gonna catch some people out for sure. It's just really slappy, and plays more like Iron Jaws is meant to play in my head. Well, Piggy's in the bin. Yep, Piggies can get in the bin. Yeah.
This will look great on a table. I know we're not. This is all virtual tables, but we do like the.
Oh, it look great, right?
Yeah, it look awesome. What else? What are these guys called? Wasted potential depressed teenagers or something? What? Yeah, what are they running? Skaven next.
Skaven.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was saying before, like basically with Skaven, you just kind of run like two big things, and then like a couple foot heroes, and then crap, and then usually one big threat.
He's not done that.
Now,
he's not done that.
Yeah, I did see this one before. I didn't realize it was this one. All right, yeah. So I've kind of spoiled it already, but okay. So basically, it's Gracier on Screaming Bell and a Bombardier, and then a Deceiver. He's got the Norbomb.
Yeah.
He's got Norbomb to teleport stuff.
Acceptable, I think.
Yeah, and the I think the Bell's a great pick at 280. I think it's like super worth the points. And then
it's always been underpointed, I think, that thing. But then this is when it gets weird. 3 Clan Rats, you see. 4 Clan Rats, sure. Why not? Okay. And then he's just lost his mind.
And then 3 units of the Jezzails, which I think are kind of awful, to be honest. But they're cheap enough.
Only one shot each.
They're cheap enough that it's kind of. And then we have 6 units of 5 Scryer Acolytes. Now, Scryer Acolytes for 70 points is like insane. It's like it's on that border of like this is completely unreasonable points costing. But yeah, they're like 5 wounds with Bravery 4. So yeah, this list obviously does not want to play against Techless. But they're just gonna ban
the old Sylvaneth bomb.
Yep.
Don't like that.
Yeah, no, this hates Lumineth too, so.
Do you think this guy's, for ages, has just been like, I just want to run Acolyte spam, but I don't want to spend £10 per model on the old crappy metal thing, so it's like, as a TTS tournament, let's do it.
I reckon they could have leaned in it even more. I reckon you go like 3 heroes and then 3 units of Clan Rats and then just all Scryer Acolytes. Bin off the
So
Jezzails.
basically the feedback is not enough Acolytes.
I think my notes would just be more.
Well, yeah, I why the Jezzails? Just double down. If you've put your chips on the table, go all in, mate. But no, is this good? Is this going to do anything, or is this fun? It looks really fun. Okay, moving on.
I don't know. It's definitely one that some people maybe have not played something like this before, and that could.
And I wouldn't know what
catch
to do
you out.
against it.
Yeah, it's probably awkward to play against on the board, but yeah, raw power level wise, maybe not as strong as some of these other lists. Okay, and we have Cabalis, Slates of Darkness. Now, the major difference, I guess, is like just some monsters are in now. So it's dropped out one of the Sorcerer Lords to the Manticore, and 3 of the Vanguard have become a Chaos Gargant.
I have a complaint to make.
Yes.
About life. Gargants, my beloved Gargants, have been nerfed into the ground. They're rubbish. And then a bunch of books came out where their fake Gargants are better than Gargants. So the new Gits one, the Chaos Gargant, the Beast of Chaos one, they're like 40 points less, and they get cool rules, and they're better. Why?
So I reckon, in my mind, the way the law works for Man Crusher Gargants is much like the relationship between New Zealand and Australia, right? So you can imagine like Man Crusher Gargants and Sons of Behemoth are like the New Zealanders, and what happens is they get to a certain age and they realize there's a distinct lack of occupations in the Sons of Behemoth world, so they decide to move over to Australia and lend themselves out to yeah. In this case, Beasts of Chaos. Yeah. So these are expats, and they're just trying to make some money and cash and just take it home. So we have
they get cheaper rent, so their points are cheaper.
Yep.
It makes so much sense now.
Yeah. So we have I'm definitely gonna get some people messaging me about that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
that's so unnecessary.
That's real bad.
Okay. But we have Chaos Gargant, and there's also like some El Guzzler Gargants lurking around later in the piece, I think. Yeah.
They're kind of good. I think that's not a bad war scroll. 145 points. It's going to do a thing. I like it. It's a piece to push forward and take out a screen, or even challenge something slightly more and make you think about it. I like it. And then obviously it's got the Chosen doing most of the slapping, and they're moving around on the Soul Screen Bridge.
Yep.
Good. Sylvaneth next. We're Null Root again. So we've also got the Dwindling, so they're going double downing on the Magic, where we've got the Tree Lord Ancient and the War Song this time. So the tree is guaranteed out of the Tree Lord Ancient, and then he's going to put that down, and the War Song's going to blow it up with the Spell Singer on 3d6, which is going to be really tasty. Going to get rid of some heroes if you roll well. We've got a Durthu in this one with his Gladius, with his sword, so he's going to have quite a few attacks, which is nice. Looks like we've got a bunch of Dryads and some Gossamins to round it up. So nothing too fancy. It's the bomb. It's some slappy with the Durthu. He's got a reinforced unit of Gossamins though, which is slightly out there. I've ran 10 Gossamins before. I think it's one of those units where it feels like they're good when they're good, but then if your opponent has an answer, you're like, oh my god, did I just spend 420 points on that thing to get killed turn 1? But he's in a team tournament, so he's going to get slightly more say over who he plays against. And against melee-only armies, without impact hits stuff, the Gossamins are super annoying and impossible to deal with, and can do a lot of chip damage throughout the game. So, again, I think this is a good mix of fun, and it's got some play in it. I don't think it's going to... I think it's going to struggle against some of the top lists and the meta picks, but it's going to do some stuff.
Yep. So, what do we think for this team overall out of 10? What do you reckon?
I mean, this is looking like this is the most fun one so far, but it's kind of like fun in that maybe it's like slightly too much. Like, are you okay? Are you doing this for attention, sort of thing? I'm only kidding. There's some fun lists in here, but I think the power level's taken a bit of a dip for some weird and fun things, like all those acolytes and the warlord, and that ogre list really rolled me up. I don't know why. So I'm gonna give these guys about a 5. I think a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Middling 5.
All right.
How do you feel?
Yeah. No, that makes sense to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Just want to add, this is on power level. Okay, in terms of just chances that you're gonna win the tournament. This isn't Warhammer's Warhammer. You play it your way, and I'm reading these lists has made me happy. So
yeah. Also.
Take it with a pinch of salt. We're not experts.
Like, I just want to say as well, like, just because we give, a particular rating doesn't mean it's gonna be where you place in the rest of the tournament, and you should absolutely feel happy with the army that you're taking still. Okay, but we have the French team next, another French team. So these are the snails. This
I
one.
recognise some of these names
Yep.
from
So
previous events. You know, Florab and Jorin and all that. So, what are these lot bringing?
so so we have Lumineth, Slaves of Darkness, Beasts of Chaos, Auric Warclans, Maggotkin of Nurgle, Gloomspite Gitz, Feck, and Skaven. So I love all these lists from this team. I think this team has some just exceptional lists. I love it. So we have this one here, which is kind of an interesting Lumineth list in a way. I think interesting is maybe the wrong word, but
It's not techless, so you're like, oh, I've got to give it some thought.
it's not techless, but it's
It's a lot of arrows.
it's 70
a lot of
sentinels
fucking arrows,
and 25 ruse.
That's so much damage.
But the angle with this one, right, is because it's not techless, it might not get banned, but it's very filth.
It just shoots you off. Yeah, it just fucking shoots you off.
Yeah. I think this one's excellent. Yeah, and it's not one drop because obviously we have more units, but it's still 2 drops. So it's not sharpshooters, but I don't really think the aim of the game is to shoot off heroes with this army. Is more just kind of like sit in the board and win.
Big unit.
Yeah.
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 Because 70. Yeah, that's how many shots is that? Like 200 and something shots.
Yeah. In close range, it's completely mental. So.
No, it's 400 and something shots. Yeah, it's ludicrous.
Yeah. It's good.
Strong, very strong.
We have Slaves of Darkness. This one has
Everchosen.
some different stuff going on. So this one, is hosted the Everchosen, so the Chosen of Battle Line. It's still Chosen and Varangard, but we have there's like a 1 unit of Chaos Warriors and then a Gargant, and then there's the Sorcerer Lords and stuff, and it's 1 drop, I believe. One thing you notice about the French players list is they're always consistently just really low drop. It's just, I think it's kind of a feature of the scene. Yeah.
I think it's a way to play. Well, I use it in my lists. I think 1 drop and 2 drop is how I design a lot of my lists. And obviously, if they're playing in a meta where everything's really low drop, if you're playing against some metas and some people are bringing Seraphon, and they're always going to be like 13 drops and stuff because they don't care. Then you might be tempted to get a battalion and go 4 or 5 drops. But obviously, these guys are just like it's 1 or 2. You gotta keep it low. And no, but I like that. That's again, slave, strong but simple. Slightly different. Like the Chaos Gargant, Expat Gargant's going to do some things. I want to keep tally over what these Gargants do, just to because there's no other Gargants in this list or in this tournament. I doubt it if there is any Sons of Bahamut players. So, got to keep an eye on the Gargants and see how they get up to. Please report back.
Yep. And then we have, I think the first Beast of Chaos list in the event so far. So this is playing with the new book, and we have Quake Fray.
Jesus. Jesus.
Yeah. So we got Bulgors, and there's obviously the Cockatrice and Ungle Raiders and a Cygor. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have too much idea about what this does. I just know that the Bulgors actually do like mega damage now.
They're super punchy, I think, and they've got, I don't know what, but I've been heard on the grapevine something makes them fast and they can get in. There might be like a 3d6 charge or bonuses to charge or something like that.
Yeah.
I think the Ungle Raiders and the Cockatrice use probably the worst new rule I've ever seen to just shoot in the fucking movement phase, clear the screen, and then the Bulgars come in and get into your juicy bits and do a lot of damage. I think this is what this is going for.
Yeah.
Again, this is new. We need to see it, and this is the testing ground. This is the deep end that this box list is going to test itself in. But I can see what it's trying to do. I think, and I think it's going to do quite well, especially in a team format.
I have no idea what it does, but we'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. We have Auric Warclans, and it's pigs.
But we've got pigs, Stuart. We've got pigs.
Moving on. I'm not saying anything about that. I refuse to.
Okay, cool.
Okay. We have Maggotkin of Nurgle with a bunch of drones. This list is great.
With Be'lakor.
Really good. This list is like really good.
As in a fucking nightmare to play against. You are not getting to do what you want to do.
So this is one of Florab's list, and it's very good, and it's very good against Gits as well.
That's so strong actually. So you got Be'lakor doing Be'lakor things, denying things. We've got the Bile Piper denying what you want to do. The anti-fun Lord of Afflictions with all of and the Splithorn Helmet, overpowering stents and no command points and the Fort Ward and all that sort of stuff. Plague Drones are super good value, man, and he's got the obligatory 1 unit in Nurglings for the Battle Tactic. He's in a 2-drop. Is he in a 2-drop?
Yep.
Yep. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare to deal with, I think, if you don't have the tools. So.
Yeah, he's been running this kind of list for ages, and I mean, he's kicked my ass with it a couple of times. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Scary stuff. Scary stuff.
And then got his other creation, which is Gits.
Jaws of Mork list, Stuart.
It's Jaws of Mork with with Grincrack, Scragrot, Squig Boss, Madcap. I have a Loon Boss, but other than that, that's my hero bunker. And then he has 30 hoppers, which is right. And then 2 units of stabbers, and
Scary unit.
And then Sticky Snufflers, Loon Court, Sloth, and then 2 units of 10 Fanatics.
20 Fanatics, Stuart.
This is just like amazing. It's like super good.
Why is this good?
So, I mean, obviously, the major thing here is the 30 Squig Hoppers. That's like your big threat. But the Fanatics are a really interesting threat that's hard to play around. So one thing that's happened is that they now can get out after a unit's destroyed, and where they get out is actually wholly within 6 of the last slain model. So,
straight into combat, right?
Yeah, straight into combat, or you can do all sorts of janky things with them. Yeah, like, I mean, if you have a super long line of stabbers, right, like across the entire board, you could basically just get out anywhere you want with the Fanatics. Yeah. And
yeah, so there's some movement jank, and now you're gonna get your damage off them. You're gonna get your unit of Fanatics. You're not gonna have to worry about losing them, and having like a squishy but important unit like your unit of 20 stabbers. Then if it gets punched before your Fanatics get out, that was a lot of points gone for not a lot of gain. But now it feels like they're always going to get their worth somewhat, right?
The only thing I would say, and it's why I decided to put my Fanatics in a bigger unit, is if you play a shooting army, they can still kill the Fanatics if they just shoot off. They just shoot off the stabbers and then shoot the Fanatics. But I don't think he's worried about that because the hoppers will just kill him. So
good thing he's on the same team as that horrible Lumineth list with all the bows.
Yep.
Our first Flesh Eater Courts.
Yeah, I saw this before. This is just great. It's just like foot heroes.
Horrors. Yeah.
And with 18
foot
horrors.
Heroes and the horrors. Yeah. But he's still got the Terrorgeist, the obligatory Camo Roller 6 mini game.
Yeah, you just need him for the psychological advantage, and also the 5-up ward is the main thing.
Yeah.
And his blister skin, so everything just moves way faster. So like the archery is move 8.
It shouldn't be that fast. Yeah, they're super fast.
List is super good, man. Super
and
good.
Horrors, he's got them in the battalion that makes them playable. So this is a 3-drop, or is it slightly more than that?
Yeah, it's 3 drops because he's got you need to put the Horrors in Galatian Veterans. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise they're unplayable, but they do have a lot of damage.
Sorry,
but that's a lot of damage.
It'll end up being 4-drop because the monster. Yeah.
The heroes. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I like that. I think Feck's always fun to bring for a team tournament because they're not like one of the strongest singles lists armies out there, but they still do their thing quite well, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Now this next list is like straight out of my wet dreams, to be honest, because like I've been wanting to run this for ages, but I've just never really had the chance because I've been doing other shit. But yeah, it's
you're too much of a coward, Stuart.
It's 3 units of 4 Rat Ogres at Bravery 10 because there's a Warps here, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. And one of them has the +1
awesome.
to hit aura.
They're coming back. And they're coming back on 3-up because of the Master Molders. He's got Hell Pit in there, Stuart.
Yep, because it's just so cheap now, man. It's like insanely cheap. Yeah, and he doesn't have enough points for another unit of Rat Ogres.
And he's still got the Purple Sun, and he's got the White the Vortex in there. So there's magic. There's obviously no shooting really, but the Rat Ogres, they're really good, man. I think they're so good. I think they're tanky. I think they're punchy. Coming back, and if they get their 3-up to come back, then they're just worth their points and then some. So, yeah,
yep.
I can see this doing well. I like this.
Yep. Um,
And that's them.
that was a pretty good team.
That's them done.
All right, I'm gonna give it a
It's
9.
pretty good team.
And the reason I'm
You're
giving it
gonna
a
give it a
9 is because it has pigs in it.
Oh, it would be a 10, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I actually don't know if it'll quite make a 10. I think it would be it's probably actually a 9.
I think, with the Skaven and things like that, they're strong, not as meta, but that's why I think it's going to be good, because I think it's a lot of stuff that people don't know how to play against, haven't played against before, and it's like that good mix between off meta, but still has its place and is still strong and still scary. With the Feck and the the new Bok, be interesting to see how they get on. Yeah, I think this is an 8 or 9 for me as well.
For me, there's like clear evidence that there's thinking of who's going to be like your dedicated defender and attacker in these lists, because clearly the Lumineth, Slaves, Magakin and Nurgle and Gits, and maybe also the Orcs.
This is a French team. These guys think about these things. They take it seriously, and I think these lists show that. But with a nice mix of interest and originality, I think so. Yeah, I really like that team.
Yep. All right, and then we have the other French team, which is the Frog Eaters. Yep, and their team comp is Nighthorn, Fire Slayers, Seraphon, KO, Magakin and Nurgle, Gloomspite, Soulblight, and Lumineth. Yep.
Similar, a lot of repeat, with the Lumineth and all of this popping up again. But so what do these guys got? We're starting off with a Nighthorn. Is this just going to be?
It's Plaguegeist Revenants. Moving on.
Plaguegeist in Scarlet Doom. Yeah.
Okay. Another Fire Slayers list with a load of Hearthguard, just with like slightly different configuration, and also like the most ridiculous amount of heroes that you've seen in your life.
Yeah, that's 6 heroes, right? It's got to be.
No, it's
more.
it's
1,
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So they've got the Flamekeeper here with the Volkites and the Hearthguard, which is going to be good. A lot of heroes. Molten Infernoth, fair. Why not?
It's 40 points.
Respect.
I think that's just for the grand strat, right? Yeah.
Almost definitely, because you put this into a list that doesn't have priests, and then you get 3 victory points, pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, I prefer the I personally prefer the firewall still, but yeah.
No. Again, it's similar-ish to the last list. Slight differences, but it's still the Fire Slayer motto of sit on objectives, come get me, and see if you can deal with all the damage and stuff I put back at you.
Yeah, and just be like amazing at doing battle tactics. It's like ridiculous at doing battle tactics.
Yeah, very
super
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Seraphon.
It's Thunder Lizards with Croak, and
has it got 2 Bastillodons?
He's got 1 Bastillodon.
Yeah. Does that get him any more respect?
No.
But he's got the upgraded Chameleon Skinks, which are fun. Don't know why I like them.
I probably like this more than the 2 Basties. Maybe I always like Croak, especially in a team's environment.
Better. Yeah, no. Croak's good, and he's got the offensively pointed Carnosaur, 200 points. What?
Yep.
What?
I always love with Seraphon that they're just never happy with just a nerf. They're always just like, but like we'll put this unit down, and then I remember that they nerfed the snake basties, and that was just like the biggest mistake ever. It's just like, all right, let's put them back up again. Why is that thing 200 points? The
yeah. So this is still Seraphon. It's still going to be a problem, and it's a list you can't ignore. And then we've got more of a scalpel list coming in. We've got Caradron Overlords, which is an answer to some specific things in the meta. We've seen a similar list. It's frigates.
Yep. I wasn't gonna forget about this one. Oh, that was a terrible joke. Just okay.
Oh my god.
No. This list is I think taking advantage of some serious points drops. So like the dirigible boy went down, the frigate went down. I think
there's a lot of
gained
stuff
quite a
in
few
this.
points. This now I know the Navi went up, but it's a lot of
Still
stuff.
got the prime. Still got the prime in
Yeah,
there, which
yeah,
is
still
pretty
got
much
the
the most
prime.
expensive thing in his list. Everything else is just... It's almost got like an MSU feel to it.
Yeah.
Well, it pretty much is. It's going to have the Arcanaut frigates and the Gunhauler popping around. And that Gunhauler, Stuart, with the most ludicrously named attachment mount trait thing ever. So it's the Zombomb, Barber Corp, Depth Settler, Spar Torpedo, Warhead Explosion, Mortal Wound thing.
Yep.
KO, again, you see them pop up more in team tournaments because they're a thorn for some lists that just can't deal with them, and this is going to be a really bad matchup. This is a list that's going to want to basically win its matchups, at 20-0 and get a good matchup and punish them, and then it's going to want to avoid certain things that have the answer to it. So, good always, I think it makes sense to have a list like that in your team composition.
Yeah. All right. Next we have another drones list. Yeah, we already talked about
demons
it. But
again.
yeah, it's good.
It's the French and
With
their love of
Bellicore.
Nurgle demons.
Yep.
Yeah, with Bellicore. It's
just slightly different config, but
slightly different.
Yeah.
It's no fun. That is not a fun list to play against. Is this Jaws and Mork list?
It is
gonna be
with
fun?
Squig Hoppers, and it's this. I think this is exactly the same list.
Okay. It's
Moving
okay. So we're seeing a bit of duplication, a bit of overlap, a bit of similar lists among the French teams. They're coordinating. I think they're becoming like a hive mind type entity that's looking to sort of take over the Warhammer world, really. And they're, like I said, they take it seriously. So I think not to be underestimated at any point. And these Git lists, no one's got a lot of practice against them. So I think people are gonna get their poo pushed in quite a lot by some of these Git lists actually, and it'll be fun to see.
I'm going to be interested whether any of the games with this particular list I'm looking at now go past turn 1, because I don't think they will. So that's I think
bold claim. I like that.
I don't. If it doesn't get banned, yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, Soulblight Gravelords.
First one of these we've
There's
seen
the first
so
one.
far.
Yeah, I think it's a strong army.
I don't like Legion of the Night. It just.
It's
Oh, Blood Knight's coming from the side. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I said that like that, but I don't know. Okay, I've worked out I get irrationally annoyed at certain units for no reason.
All right. I'm just gonna give my opinion. I really like Soulblight Gravelords. I always talk super highly about how balanced the book is and the longevity of the book. But it's probably the most resonant sleeper army in all of Warhammer. It's just so boring to play against. I'm sorry. It's just.
I'm bored now.
I love it, but it's just dull.
It's one of those. Yeah. I like looking at the lists. I think Manfred's really cool. He's a really good piece. I can see the strength, all the jank you can do with the zombies, blah blah blah. But then again, it's just on the table, and it's like, okay.
I'm gonna set up my grave sites. I'm deploying these in the grave. These will be off the side.
This is what I mean. They've come in 6 inches from the board edge. Riveting. But 70 points, 3 fell bats. I like it. That's given me some hope.
For humanity.
I want to know what they get up to. They're fun.
All right, then we have Lumineth with the same list that we just talked about. So, yep, good.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. What do we reckon about this one?
I'm going to give all of the French teams an 8 because a lot of them are all the same.
Okay.
But
all right.
There's strength. There's strength here, and like you said, they take it seriously. They're coordinating. I think having seen all 3 French lists, 3 French teams, I couldn't tell you which one, but I think the French in general, as the hive mind unit that they have become, are in for a shout at taking some podium places with their lists, I think.
Yep. Okay. Next we have Team No Narrative, which is headed up by Sergei Davidov, who I've played a number of times. A very nice guy and very hilarious. Yeah, this has some seriously funny lists. This is the comic relief team that's also actually just good. Like, the good players with good lists, but like some of these lists are so funny.
And cry at the same time. Yeah.
Some of these lists are so funny.
Make sure everyone had a little look at the list names that these guys have given their lists, because there's some good stuff going on. So we have got Soulblight Gravelord, Stuart.
Yep. Now this was what was this? What movie was this? So all of these are supposed to be like movie themed, right? And what was this one again? I'll just get up what he sent me.
Verkos people. Vicos people.
Oh, is that?
However you say the fucking thing. That's the name of the list, and it's 1 million zombies.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
With Radika the Beast and Belladama, all of those, the little hero, and Gorslav, obviously, to keep the zombies doing their thing. Oh, it's got that Vagseer thingy in it. Oh, yes.
I love it.
We just called Soulblight boring. Look at this.
I love it because it's like a really good list, and then there's just like some cameo appearances from like from
The
old actors
Bloodborne
in the game.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has this got? Yeah, this has got all of the Wolfenkhan stuff in it. It's got pretty much all of it.
Yep.
I like it.
With 140
And then
zombies.
with 140 zombies.
With Gorslav and all the buffs. It's good.
It's gonna frustrating to play against. It's gonna deny a lot of points, and it's gonna win on objectives and things like that.
Hold on, I've just noticed. Okay, so he's put the Viacos Bloodborne in Galatian Command with a Vampire Lord. That's great.
Oh,
that's great. I love that. I love that.
That is some MSG in your Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right, and then and now we have a Skaven list.
There's a theme here, Stuart. I can't quite place my finger on it.
I love this because it's all Eshin. Like there's literally nothing in here that's not Eshin, and it's
he doesn't need to do that, but he did it anyway.
And it's horrific.
Which is
it's such a good list.
This is good. This is gonna hurt people. Oh my God, Stuart, there's something that isn't Eshin.
Well, okay, so I did say this before, but in I'm pretty sure in Total War Warhammer this is Eshin. So I'm willing to permit the warp grinder being in there. Yeah, it's canon. Yeah,
it's canon. Okay, this is good. No one's ever seen it. Why is it good?
Well, it's a little bit of a bit of a hacky list. I'm not gonna lie.
Alpha pop up and do the damage.
It's an alpha pop up and come up and do the damage with the gutter runners. Yeah. With 2-drop.
And some armies melt to that, and if you survive the initial punch, you win the game. I think this is a man with not a lot of time on his hands, and he wants to be done in 15 minutes.
Yeah, this is when you're captain of the team, and someone tells you you're probably going to be playing 2 games every week. You're just like, all right, I'm putting this army in. It's just like this one, or like the Stormcast banners list. It's like, all right, it's past game 1, it's past turn 1, and I haven't won the game yet. See you later. Yeah, it's to be fair with this one, I think there might be more play with like the subtle use of coming on from reserves with the gutter runners and like putting them like one side of the board and blowing up that side of the board rather than just like full sending it. But it is still it's still a sending army for sure. Yeah.
Send it. Right, list name sticks in the ass.
So all the elf themed armies are something to do with various things up the rear. And this one, this one has
what we got, Stuart?
This one is also so funny. So it's 2 tree lords and then another 2 tree lords. So two heroes and 2 non-hero. Yep, and then we have Dryker, and then we have some, of course, your double tree revs, and then 10 dryads and some endless spells in a 1-drop.
This isn't good. This isn't good.
I guess it's not one. Is it? Yeah, it is 1-drop in this sub-faction.
Tree Lords in Winterleaf is cool. No retreat, no piling in Winterleaf is cool. I like that.
Ah, so he's...
Is it worth doing it a whole list?
4-drop.
And then... No, it's not. It's not worth doing it.
But they did go down in points, the Tree Lord.
Glade Worm. Such a cool model. So garbage.
This list is getting banned, Luke, I reckon. This is weapons of mass destruction. I love that. It's good fun. That one's probably weaker than the other ones that we've seen so far, but definitely okay. Nightmare on Elm Street, Nighthorn with Harridans.
This is good though.
Yeah, that's the
isn't
thing.
that funny.
This
It's
is more
quite
just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Not too much to say about that one. Slaves to Darkness with 3 Sorcerer Lords, and then 2 units and 10 Chosen, and some stuff, and some Varangard. And your obligatory Chaos Gargant.
That Gargant.
He's
yeah.
in all of them,
Just
isn't
to rub it in.
he?
He is.
And
He
Bridge. He's in bloody all of them.
Okay, Stuart, do you think if every Chaos or Destruction faction could ally in Man-Crusher Gargants, would they do so?
I think a lot of them already
Not
can, and
one
the
of-
answer's no. Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking wouldn't. They get their good ones. They get their expats. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I'm not happy.
All right, then we have another
Yeah.
Jaws of Mork list, and this is a good list with a load of Boingrots
Oh
and a
my
big unit of
God.
Squig Herd.
36 Squig Herd. That's a hammer.
Yeah.
Right? Is it in? Can it get in? Is it in the battle line? Get extra ranks to fight Battalion Galatian champions. thing?
No, but
Oh,
they are
okay.
they are in 25s, and also
Yeah, but there's 36 of them.
yeah, but you're not really doing damage with the combat as much as like them running away.
Yeah, the mortal wounds.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, as of recording, it hasn't been fact that you can't break coherency and do that. So, yeah. Anyway,
Because why not?
that's the thing. So, yep.
He's got his Squig bosses. He's got his Loon boss.
Yeah, I stopped
got
running the
his
Squig
Dobby.
Herd because I wanted to have a game that lasted more than like 15 minutes. Because at the moment with that rule, it's just a bit disgusting. But yeah, he doesn't have the 30
Yeah,
hoppers
to play
though,
against
so
it.
he doesn't have the 30
10.
hoppers. So I'm less supportive,
Does
but
this
still
feel
great
a bit
list.
like slightly less focused? Just a bit of some stuff going around.
Yeah,
To
I
me, it
think
feels
I
slightly
think with
less
Git, I
focused,
think with
yeah.
Gits, like it's fine to play this sort of like one big threat and then MSU kind of style.
It's that Seraphon thing, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
kind of doesn't need to be focused. It all does the stuff.
Yep.
Because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. This is my favourite list name in the whole tournament.
And it's a bunch of Stonehorns and a Thunder Tusk.
Which I don't like. Icebrow Hunter because he wants cheap battle line. I don't know why the Tyrant's in there at all. I have no fucking clue why the Tyrant's
Just
in
for the
there.
Spider Cleaver, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Finna-
still not that good. He's got a Thunder Tusk. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. I know people like to run the monster trucks, but
Is the Seed of
Also-
Alvagear the double monstrous action one?
yeah, so you can do so you go off on your little monster truck rampage where you move 3d6
Okay.
and then you roar something else, which is just funny.
This is the Gits counter then. That's what this is.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, because you move 3d6 and then blow up the shrine. It's
Yeah.
bloody annoying to play against. Yep. It's good. Stonehorns. Okay, and then
Yeah, I don't know. Good, it's good. I didn't see this name when I read it.
and then we have Arrows in Arse, which is the Lumineth one, which is Techless and Sentinels.
This is. I want this to get banned so I can play my.
No
Squig list.
one's
Yeah.
playing this list.
Yeah.
No one
Yeah,
is playing
okay.
with this army. It's getting banned instantly every time.
Oh, it's got the jaws, but it's taken up the spell portal, so they've gone full in. They've gone. You need to ban this, or you lose a game. So, I mean, that's one of the. It's obnoxiously strong. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's making me sick. That's the. What are they called, Stuart? This team.
This is
no
Team No
narrative?
Narrative. Yeah.
There's a lot of narrative in Team No Narrative. I like it. They get an extra point purely for their list names, so I reckon they would have been a 7, and I'm giving them an 8.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I think, like, pure power level wise is actually pretty good. Even though some of the
Squig
lists
list,
are.
the Lumineth list, the Ogre list is trash. The Sylvaneth list is trash, but there's other things. You only need to win a couple. You don't need to win all your games to win the bout between another team. So I think this has kind of done that as well. It's going to use excellent use of bussing. I think this team. I think there's going to be a couple of buses getting some bad matchups, and then the other matchups winning it. So yeah, I think there's some secret strength in here.
I
Maybe
reckon
it's
that
a 7, I
that
don't know.
Sylvaneth
Maybe
is
it's
just gonna
just a
get
7.
like Slaves to Darkness one time. Just gonna instantly die. Anyway, that's them. Okay, so we have best Luke fan club. Now I don't know which Luke that is. Is that?
These are the Spanish guys, and
that's
I'm
okay.
definitely not wearing a Spanish shirt.
Okay.
For this stream.
So, all right. This is about Luke more than that. It's not about you. Okay. Yeah.
There's only one Luke.
Okay. So, this is the Spanish team. We've had such
Some
a long
good players here.
Yeah, we've had such long support
with
from the Spanish scene. So, another team in. So I'll just get out their team comp. So they have let's see here. Oh, something's weird going on with the document. I think I've got too many lists here, but okay.
No such thing, Stuart. No such thing.
We might have to skip them because I have 16 lists somehow.
Do you?
Yes.
Have you made a little boo boo? Right, let's see what I can find.
Okay, can you just talk through this Seraphon list, Luke, while I just try and see the form responses to see what I've stuffed up?
I can, and I don't need to look far to find something to talk about. There's a fucking Troglodon straight at the top of this list. So Team Spain, Team Fanboy Luke, kicking it off with the Troglodon, with Croak. So he's obviously going to be an Oracle, and he's going to be annoying. Where there's 2 bubbles of AOE, Celestial Deliverance, and the Croak spell, which is going to hurt. It's still Seraphon. It's one of those lists where you can kind of put anything into it, and it's going to do its thing. It's got lots of buffs, it's got lots of damage, and we've been seeing Seraphon. It might bait out a ban because some people really don't want to play into Croak with its board-wide Dispel at plus 1,000,000. It can just make some lists, like the Sylvaneth list, that want to sit at the back of the board and do the bomb. It makes them cry. So I think it makes sense to see Seraphon lists like that. We then have a Beast of Chaos list, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get that up on the screen just yet.
Yeah, there is. Sorry,
yeah, we are. Thanks, Stuart. Again, we're not seeing too much of the Beast of Chaos yet. I tried reading the book, the Battle Tome, and I couldn't really make sense of it. I was like, the rules are really... Well, they make sense. The war scrolls are okay. The points didn't make any sense to me. Things have gone up huge amounts of points, but then you've still got like Ungors at 80 points. So it's still going to play lots of different bodies, and it's going to be one of those lists that has lots of different things. It's not going to be a spam list where you just see 100 of the same unit, unless you're a psychopath that wants to run Ungors and not play the game and just sit off the board. And that's exactly what this guy has done. My god,
it's a shitload of Ungor Raiders.
I didn't know I'd set that up that hard.
Yeah, it's just pure Ungor Raiders, isn't it?
It's just Ungor Raiders. So he doesn't even, if he brought this to a tournament, he wouldn't even need to set his army up for 3 turns. Do you know what I mean? Just sit there with a blank board.
Just don't even bring the models. Just don't even bring
the models. Just rock up.
Just like, my army exists in the figment of my imagination. It's there, mate.
The upside down. Yeah.
I'm shooting you over there. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's got his Bulgors, so he's got something to put on the table and then clean up whatever the Ungor Raiders don't kill. So
I think that it's literally going to be 6 Bulgor and a Doom Ball on the start of the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe 10 Ungors for a screen, and then the rest.
And then
is off
a lot of him pointing and asking you to take your toys off.
Shooting from reserves, pure joy.
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Okay. Yep. So I have managed to fix up that list.
Have you got it all sorted? Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. So I had another team. I think in their
merged
place
in
or
with
something.
them.
Yeah. So we have Seraphon Beats of Chaos, which we talked about, and then Lumineth, Nurgle, Slaves of Darkness, Disciples of Zinch, Ogre Tribes, and Gloomspite Gits. So we have the Techless Sentinels list in here. Please ban me so I can play my normal armies. So that one says.
It's like, you know. It's like, please spank me, please. It's horrible. I don't like it. It's got that really upset. It's probably in a gimp suit or something like that. Right. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Moving on. What have we got?
We've got Nurgle.
Clean one and some Rotmire Creed.
Yep. And
How do we feel about the Rotmire Creed? Good unit.
Yeah, I think I think the age where you spam them is maybe over, and they're more like kind of to fill battle line, and the big monsters in this list is where the damage is coming from, really. So we just got 2 Lord of Blights for, I think, mainly for just getting battle tactics, and then big fat lad Guo, and then the 2 better Magath Lords. Yeah.
Yeah, no Morbid X, but all got some blowout other better too. So you would expect to see them. Got Spoon in there though.
Yeah. Just to get the
Yeah.
Rotwine Creed off the board, and rock up with 2 of them. It's pretty good. Yeah.
I like that.
Solid list. I don't think it's like ridiculously overpowered or anything, but like, yeah,
It's
pretty good.
not as horribly obnoxious as some of the French Nurgle lists where it's just like you can't pile in, you can't do that. There's Be'lakor telling you not to do this. So you might be able to have fun against that Nurgle list. We'll see.
Okay,
Knights of the Empty Throne.
yeah, we have the
Slaves of
first
Darkness.
empty throne, and we have a Carked Lord, a Sork, and then
Arcanarch.
a Gaunt Summoner, and then we have a bunch of Varangard and Chaos Knights. In
That's
a one
hard
drop.
to shift unit of Chaos Knights, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
I
hard
don't.
to shift.
I actually, I will say that I don't like this as much as the Chosen, personally.
It's more simple. It's faster and just hits you turn 1, and then like, can you deal with a double turn type sort
Yeah.
of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then we have Disciples of Tzeentch with a bunch of heroes and pink horrors
And a bunch of horrors.
and 3 on the spells.
He didn't get the spell portal, so he lost the argument with one of his teammates. But, but he's still going to make other people.
He got Arcane
upset.
Tome though. I feel like you don't get both. You don't get Arcane Tome and
This was-
Spell Portal.
Yeah, so there's going to be another list in this team that doesn't have an arcane tome that wanted it, and that was the trade-off. And then
Yeah.
they're just going to, when they both lose their games, they're going to blame each other, and then there's going to be a big fallout. And then Team Spain's, that's it, it's done.
He does have a Gaunt Summoner. That hasn't been in there yet. So
No, that's
that's to
cool
get the
to
pinks
see.
in. Pinks in turn
Yeah.
1. Yeah, pretty good.
No, I'm only joking. The Team Spain guys are, like I said, they're super fun. They've been part of the scene for a while now, and they're going to stick around. The Tzeentch list is, yeah, it's
I need
similar
the,
to what we've seen, isn't it?
This doesn't have a sub faction. I'm
Needs
just gonna put
sub-faction.
that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
so
put that there. So just get in contact
get
with
in
me. brother.
touch. Yeah, it's probably going to be no retreat. You want host duplicity CC stuff, isn't it? But get in
Yeah.
touch by the end of the day if you can. I don't know whose list that is, but please get in touch. What else are the Team Luke fan club bringing?
We've got Underguts with 3 Blood Pelt Hunters, some Lead Belchers, and 1 unit of Iron Guts, and then 4 Iron Blasters. This list is great. It's like good.
This is more my speed.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of a Blood Pelt Hunter. Has he done the thing where he's got a Blood Pelt Hunter with Tunnel Master? Because that's just pure jank. No?
He doesn't
Okay,
have that,
Mistake
no.
made. Mistake made. Again, he probably lost the argument
I
with one of his
prefer
teammates.
leadership of the Alpha with the triple all-out attack for the Iron Blasters, though.
If you're running Iron Blasters, yeah, but I just run a lone Blood Pelt Hunter with Tunnel Master, so you can teleport onto an objective in your opponent's phase and deny battle tactics and objectives, which is really, really fun.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this is what that. Yeah, this is what that list that I really hated on could or should be in my head. It's got Lead Belchers instead of Mournfang. It's doesn't have the Huskard. It's got some Blood Pelt Hunters for the triple all-out attack and some more shooting, and then the 4 Iron Blasters
Cannons.
doing Iron Blaster things. Yeah, no, this is going to be strong. It's a shooting list. It's gonna take a lot of things off that can't deal with it, and it's got the unit of 4 Iron Guts, which I think are awesome. If you get them into the right fight, they'll just remove something, fall to dead, which is good.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to decide a TO call at this point. Actually, with the next list I've just seen, but
What's happened?
Okay, so it's Gloom Spike gets, and the problem right now is that the Web Spinner Shaman on the Arachnarok Spider does not have the hero keyword. All right, I'm gonna allow it because, like, obviously it's gonna get that, so that's fine. Yeah, but
Did they actually?
yeah, they forgot to put
They
it on.
actually do that. They
Yeah.
forgot to put it on.
It's like when the Tzeentch Battle Tome came out and the fucking little dude had like the monster keyword or whatever.
yeah.
Terrible. Okay, but it's King's Kits, and it's actually got more of a stabbers focus this one, which is interesting.
Melee grots.
Yep.
So he's going to be doing he's got the Loon Boss there to give them the mortal wounds, which is good.
Yep, but I think the main way they actually do damage is you get hit by a rock gut vomit, and then they just slap you in the head. I think that's the main aim of the game.
He hasn't got any of the fell waters. He's just got the rock guts.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have gone fell waters then. Yeah. Yeah.
But he didn't want to, Stuart. He went rock guts.
Because they actually
No,
slap.
I agree with you. This would
Yeah.
be better. Yeah, this would be better if it was fell waters.
Yeah.
But can't win them all. No. This is still good. It's gits. Like it's. Again, we haven't had it. It's not proven yet. It's not had time to settle. But a lot of the buffs in that book look really, really scary. And it feels like for what you get for your points, you're just going to get loads and loads of damage, and it's going to take people off early. It's going to just remove half your army turn 1 if you allow it to. So, yeah, nice seeing that again. What else have these guys brought with us, Stuart? Or is that?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's that. I like these guys. There's a lot of these guys. I met at Worlds and I really got on with them. They're good fellas, and there's some interesting lists. It's not just pure meta. They've got some different. I like the Iron Guts, the Underguts list actually. I think that's a strong list that you're going to see, and I think they're the only one that have done it properly. What are you feeling in terms of strength of power for Team Spain, Team Luke, Best Luke fan club?
I think like a 7 I would go with. Yeah.
I'll go 7 or 8, but the list might not be as strong, but some of these players there's some good players here. So yeah, I'm going to give them 7 on the list, but I still think they have a chance of getting a maybe even a podium. So I think they're nice.
Yeah,
I like
for
it.
sure. Okay, so next we have Team Ragtag with Seraphon, Nighthorn, Stormcast, Skaven, Gits, Auric War Clans, Zinch, and Ogre tribes. Yep.
Sorted TTS pals have joined together to create a force. It's like the Power Rangers. You know, they're all gonna put their rings together or something. Okay. Led up by Wilhelm, legend. He's brought his Seraphon along. It's the thing.
Yeah. So the
he's got Croxagore. He's Tavi. He's got Tavi. He's done a Tavi.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so it's Thunder Lizards, but you basically drop a Bastillodon for a Croxagore, a unit of 6 Croxagore, and there's like more like Saurus Knights in here and stuff. But he's just got a few less heroes.
Good. Saurus Knights are ridiculously good. Tavi's converted me completely to the Saurus Knights. They're the 110 points because they can be a hammer if you get the buff on them to do the mortal wounds, and there's like 35 attacks out of that unit. It's just ludicrous. Yeah. Super good. A strong list starting off Team Ragtag. What else are they bringing along?
Nighthorn. This one has more Hexus, but it's still Bladegeist is the main kind of hammer.
Yeah, so it's got 2 units of 20. Is it 2 units of 20?
Yeah, and then 3 units, 5
so
X-rays.
A bit faster movement, doing the mortal wounds, jumping over screens and things like that.
I like this one. This is the best one so far I've seen, I think. The Nighthorn list.
It's strong. That's strong. It's balanced, isn't it? Yeah.
Stormcast.
Still one of the best ones. It's hammer time. This is the hammer one.
I thought this was released the beast.
In it, Stuart.
That's a bad joke.
Oh, that was yeah.
Sorry, the cringe is also part of the content. Okay, so it's Hallowed Knights. So the main use of that is actually just Gardas' ability working, which is a 5-up ward. And he's got the Imperatant with the Annihilators with Meteoric Grand Hammers. And then a big unit of Protectors.
Always Protectors. I think that's just a good unit, isn't it? The 10 Protectors. It's hard to shift and it does decent damage.
Yeah.
Hard to remove, does the damage. Yeah, I like it. It's Stormcast again. I think Stormcast I'm going to put in the same boat as I did the Slate of Darkness, where there's so many different units and there's so many different buffs. It sounds cool, but on the table it's just like it does its thing. It's based on good base stats, and that's how it works. There's not too many.
Yeah, base stat Warhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the polar opposite of the next army, which is Skaven, which does not have good base stats.
It does not.
Yeah, this is Thankwall, 2 Priests, Deceiver, Warlock Engineer, and then we got Gutter Runners again, and Clan Rats, and 2 Warp Lightning Cannons.
Thankwall popping around on the Soul Seeker, burning things. He's gone for 4 for Bernice. Yeah. So he's going to want to put this into the hordes and start crisping them up. We're going to runners again to pop up and do some alpha shooting, and then this is a shooting list, Stuart. This is shooty. This is super shooty.
Yeah, it's shooty. I just don't like the warp lightning
Yeah.
cannons because you can't shoot heroes with them anymore, and to me that's just kind of the whole point. So,
Yeah, no, I agree. It's more maybe he's trying to get off monsters and things with them.
they're very cheap, but yeah, I think that's an issue for me.
I think Skaven are one of those lists where it's strong, it's not super strong, it has its strengths, has its weaknesses. The war scrolls aren't great, but there's lots of different buffs and tricks you can do. So I think there's player expression there. I think you can get some. I think it's a relatively high skill cap. Army, right? Like you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of knowing what you're doing.
Yeah, we have
Sargoth.
Gits.
Yeah.
And this is a really good list. I think this is one of the more optimized one we've seen so far. This is like just a solid Trog list, with all the right buff pieces in here. And also, I like that he's gone King's Gits because it's better than the Trog one for sure. Yeah, this is really good. It's just really good
So
list.
he gets the units back, 2 units back as opposed to what was it? Just the regeneration always.
So you re-roll the dice in this one because if you have clammy hand, you get to roll twice and then you can re-roll them with King's Gits. This one you just get a re-roll, but yeah, like if you're trying to bring back 5 Trogs if the unit of 9 has died, you really just want the re-roll. So I totally understand
5
that.
dogs coming back is gonna ruin someone's day. So
Yep. It's got the sneaky Spore Splatter Fanatics in there to give +1 attack to the Rock Guts, which is just ridiculous.
So if that unit of 9 Rock Gut gets in and he's got the Spore Splatters on them, your unit's being vomited on by the Fell Waters, that's no matter what it is, it's dead. That is dead, right?
Yeah, it's like what it would be. It's with 9 Trogs, it's going to be 36 attacks, 2s and 3s with like neg 79 rand damage 3.
Yep. You're dead. This is what that means. Is you're dead. I like how we've got a lot of teams that if they're running Gits, there's like an Orc faction nearby as well. I like how they're buddying up on the destruction.
It's Crawl Boys.
This is our first Crawl Boys list, and it's a funny one. There's Cut Rippers in it.
You know what though? Someone did this to me the other day. Shout out to Demilich on TTS. I didn't know you could do this, but with the Cruel Boys War, you can fight with the units that are outside of 3. So with Gut Rippers is actually pretty handy. Do you know that?
What do you mean? Fight with what outside of 3?
So your general has to be within 3. The guy activates it, but the other units you pick do not have to be within 3 to fight.
What are they going to fight though? If they're not within 3.
Well, but like it could be a situation where, like you've chosen not to charge them and you just keep them outside of 3 so no one could hit them. You know what I mean?
So then they get to pile in and shoot. Okay, I see.
Then they get to pile in and fight.
I get you.
Yeah.
So it's like a pseudo weird 6-inch pile-in thing.
Yeah.
But not quite. I get you.
But yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily the strongest Cruel Boys build, but I'm glad to see Gut Rippers on the table, man. Yeah.
I mean, if you get hit by a... Wait, has he got the named Swamp Boss in there?
Yeah, because he's got 2 of them, so he's just put the name one in as well.
Okay. Yeah, they
That's
hurt.
standard.
They hit you, and they hit you hard with all the mortal wounds. So, I want to know how. Yeah, that's fun. That I want to see how that gets on.
It's good
I don't
battle
think it's gonna
tactics
do
and
great,
stuff as well.
But
Yeah.
yeah. It's got his tricks. It's sneaky. It's a sneaky Cool Boys list
Cool, and then we got Guild of Summoners with Kronspine.
with an incarnate. Oh my god,
It's
nightmare.
not very fun. But if he fails to
Nightmare.
roll the Unbind with the Incarnate, he loses the game, so that's why I don't like running it very much. But yeah. There you go. That's that. I don't think we need to say too much about that. We have Underguts again. This one has
is
more
my
Iron
speed.
Guts.
This is my speed. Yeah, I like this.
And it actually
This
only
is
has
similar
one
to my
Iron
list.
Blaster. Yeah.
Yeah. This is similar to the list that I've been running. Single Frost Lord, although no, that's got to be a typo. Mount trait. That's got to be a typo. No way did he do that.
What's village? Is that the one where you always count as a 7 when you charge?
Always count as a 7 on your charge roll. It's
Oh,
the
that's
most
not-
beta
that's-
male alpha fucking mount trait you could ever do.
No, this is the
I'm all
Sigmar
about
angle.
charging, and I'm gonna. This is so bad. If he's done this on purpose, I don't know what's going on. But What
Yeah,
I
if
was
you've
gonna
just
say is
if you just click the
cross-load
wrong one, get in
Tyrant and
touch.
Bloodhound.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you click the wrong one, get in touch. I'd understand. If you think no, I know what I'm doing, then okay. But the Tyrant and the Bloodpelt Hunter definitely. He's gone for the trophy rack, obviously, which is great shout on the Tyrant. Lead Belchers again, not bad. I don't know if he needs 3 units. When he's got the Iron Guts as well. 2 units of Iron Guts is tasty. I think you could maybe drop a unit of Iron Guts and something else, and maybe on another Iron Blaster. I don't know. Again, slightly mixed bag. It's half shooting, half punchy, but I like the heroes that he's gone for here. I think that's a good mix.
All right.
But I'd rather him have the Bloodpelt Hunter as the general to get the 2+.
Yeah, to hit. Yeah.
I think that's better. Yeah.
Okay, what are we giving this team score-wise?
This was Team Ragtag as Wilhelm's team. It's got a strong Seraphon list in it. It had, what else did it have in it? Strength-wise, power lists. It had the Nighthorn, which is really strong. It's got the Gits in it, so it's got like, and the Zinch. So there's like your 4 strong lists, and then it's got 4. It's got the Skaven, it's got the Ogres, it's got the Orcs, and the Stormcast. Actually, the Stormcast list wasn't bad either. I think this is a solid 6 or 7. I think it's a solid 6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have.
Which one is it?
Let's call it a 6.
6
maybe.
or 7.
I'll
call it a 6.
Maybe. All right.
6.
We have. What's your CV next? I don't know how I pronounce this. I know who it is on Discord, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyway, it's got a load of TTS legends on it for sure.
Assorted legends. We got Pass, we got Azura, we got Mac, we got Maestro, Echo Papa. I know all these guys apart from the guy's name I can't read. So yeah, it's good to see these guys. What are they bringing?
Okay, it's Slaves, Disciples of Zinch, Stormcast, Khorne, Ogre War Tribes, Gloomspite Gits, Cities of Sigmar, and Daughters of Cain. Alright. So
well, of course it's Khorne, it's Azura.
Yeah, we know who that is, yeah.
We know who that is.
Now, the only thing I would say about this team is that some of them play like one army really well, like Asura and Pask, and that getting banned would feel very bad. So I think I would say. So we have Slaves with this is like a pretty standard. Yeah. Pretty standard list. I don't think we need to go through that one.
A bit more mixed, but it's simple. It does what it says on the tin. There's going to have another Disciples of Zinch list, which is going to be it's Host Arcanum. It's going to do what it says on the tin. It's got Kairos. It's got Blue Scribes, and it's got some
a bit more Screamers,
and the spells. It's got a unit of 6 Screamers, which is fun. Again, he didn't get the spell portal, so we lost the fight with his teammate. But and we've got a funky Stormcast list. This is something that you've said you have experimented with. This is, on your drunken nights out, you've had a bit of an experiment. Just testing the waters.
Yeah.
What's the Vexler list all about, Stuart? Obviously it does mortal wounds. Is it any good?
So you blow your load turn 1 with the Vexlers. So they have ability 24-inch range, does D3 mortals to everything within 6 of that point, which is obviously massive. Damage turn 1, and then the rest of your armory basically cleans up what damage you've done, and the Vexlers are really good at just going around doing battle tactics and stuff. Now I would
die after that.
Yeah, I generally prefer it with Karazai just because Karazai is amazing. But I think this list is also good with the Tempestors and the Fulminators. Solid list.
Tempestors, that's fun. I like that.
Really solid list.
Solid list. And not something you see all the time, but that's good. Our man Azura and his Khorne. He's been running Khorne since he was born, I think. He's got Bloodscrater, Bloodthirster, Infinite Rage. He's got the Unfettered Fury, which is his preferred setup for his Bloodthirsters. And then he's got his buff champions. He's got a Skull Taker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know Skull Taker is not a unique hero?
Oh, so he's a champion.
Yeah.
Which is why he's coming back on a 3-up and then fighting you. Yeah. Is he the guy with the big hammer chain?
No, this is the guy who is supposed to be a special character and is just not for some reason. Like Skull Taker, the special blood-letter foot character with the big sword and the skull cape. Yeah.
Yeah. But is he any good?
No, but he's cheap.
Okay, it's cheap.
And you can fight twice and get buffs, but yeah, no, like in terms of raw stats, no. But
Mix a Distorted Battle Line, 6 Skull Crushers.
yeah, I like the Skull
Strange.
Crushers. They're
Do you
cheap.
like the Skull Crushers?
Yeah, they're cheap with a 3-up save. It's
Cheap
30
with a
wounds with a
3-up
3-up save for 320
I've seen a
points.
lot of Azura lists, and this one's feeling slightly strange. I don't know why. It's not as super. There's no Scarbrand for a start. How are we feeling about it, Stuart?
Depends how into Jamaican music you are, you know, because I do miss the ska band a little bit. Yep. I'm a shock quiz today. No, I like this list.
Oh my god.
I like this list. Yeah, I like that he's put the Skull Taker with the aspect of the champion just to point out that it's not unique. It's good. Yeah. All right, we have an ogre list.
Proven Azura. Yeah. Far too many Mournfang.
This is past.
What's he done with? He's done his Frosthorn right, at least.
I like this list. I think it's good.
He's done his Bloodpelt Hunter wrong, but he needs to because he needs his Mournfang. Firebelly, big fan of the Firebelly.
But you know what this list is, Luke? This used to be 2,000 points, and then the Iron Blasters went up, so I just changed one of them to be a Mournfang, and now it fits. That's what this is. That's 100% what this is. Yeah. I think the Noblars are also in there.
Work hard when you can work easy. Don't work hard when you can work easy. Yeah, this is a passive list without Noblars, so
yeah,
it feels slightly
we cry
strange.
every time, but they did go up in points. So
we've seen. I would like to see slightly more variance in the Ogres list because I think that book is deeper than people are making out. But okay, we've got Iron Blasters and we've got a Stonehorn. It's going to do its thing and it's going to cause problems for some people. I think the same story goes for these Gits. Different things going on, but it's gonna cause a problem. It's got the Trog boss, it's got Skagrot, it's got the Squig boss, it's got 2 of them, and then it's rounded out with a lot of stabbers, the punch with the Trogos, and it's Mighty Mushroom 100 points now.
Yeah, it's exactly the same War Scroll. It went up 60 points because it used to be 100 points and then inexplicably went down 60 points and then they put it up 60 again. It doesn't make any sense. Like when it was 40 points, it was so silly. I think it's a little bit too expensive, but the reason that's in there is because it's free with the Dankold Trog boss with his Loon Skin command trait. You get to take an endless spell for free, and he can cast it. Yeah.
Really? I've not read that book. That's cool.
Yeah.
300 points.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be 100 points. I like it. In a 2-drop, right? In Loaded Battle Regiment.
Yeah.
Assorted stuff that's gonna hit you and get buffed.
And none like
strong.
super big units. It's just more the kind of MSU
more
board play
MSU stuff. Yep.
All right, and then we have a cities list. Yeah.
Hallowheart. I haven't seen a lot of Hallowheart. Far too much stuff to read.
Dude, this is like criminal.
The Rune Lord with the paragraph of stuff after it. We saw this when the AOS 3 first came out, and you can give a prayer and a wizard. And it's just, and he's got 2 spells.
He's been to the library, man. He's been hitting the books.
Book.
He's been hitting the books.
He's got more rules than the whole Gargant book. It's criminal, and he's really good. And he's really, really good. You've got Krondys, which is awesome. I like seeing Krondys with all of the, especially in Hallowheart, with all of the stuff that you'd expect. You've got the Knight Zephyros to be the battle tactic man, kind of maneuver and stuff. And then he's gone for the obligatory Iron Drakes because he's got the Rune Lord. Crossbowman, so he's not got any. All of his screens are going to be doing shooting, and then I guess the Knight, the
Drakespaw Knights are the screens for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got Spell Portland Bridge. We've seen shooting Iron Drakes. We know the magic power from Hallowheart. It's still a strong list. It's not in the meta, in the top meta list, but I still think this always has strength. I think it's always got play. I like it.
Yeah, I'm just putting a note to fix the battalion formats because I don't know what's in what. We'll do that in a moment. Yeah. Okay, and then we have Daughters of Cain. This is their last list with 15 Blood Sisters, Incarnate, Marathi.
This is Marathi and the Bow Snakes.
Well, no, there's no Bow Snakes.
Marathi and the Stabby Snakes. Yeah.
Okay. It's Marathi Incarnate. They want this to get banned, obviously. So, yeah.
Well, how about I don't ban it and lose? Okay, moving on.
Checkmate. All right. What do we give them out of a 10? You think?
They've actually got some quite strong lists.
Yeah,
7. I'll give them a 7.
I agree. All right, Juicy Jankers. We have Zinch, LRL, Slanesh.
Some absolute TTS legends on here.
Yep. I mean, that's Feat's list for sure. Stormcast,
100%.
Nighthorn, Gits, Slaves of Darkness, and KO. So we have Disciples of Zinch with 30 pink horrors and.
Oh, the big unit. Big unit.
I'm slapping the ban button on that one. I'm not playing against that. But then they also have this one. This is what I prepared earlier.
Oh my god.
With Techless and Sentinels.
They're bringing the heat. These guys are bringing the heat. They're not pulling any punches so far.
Big start.
That's the 2 ban lists, and then this is the stuff they actually want to play. Feith with his Slanesh. Or I banged the table so hard that my camera fell over. I'm so excited about the Slanesh.
I'm just seeing the 2 allies because it's.
Yeah. He's running a Zinch army inside Slanesh.
That's so funny. So he's got almost 1,000 points of non-Slanesh units because he's got 10 Chosen, a War Shrine, and then he's got Zangor Shaman and Blue Scribes. So the Blue Scribes are in there for just 2-up autocast bridge for the Chosen.
Yep.
And then I think the Zangor Shaman might be like a similar purpose.
Honestly, just play slaves, man.
Nah. They have slaves as well. This one both, man.
But it's Feith in this Slanesh, like mad respect.
I love it. Yeah.
Good luck to him. Yeah.
I know he can also play the Lumineth list, so I think he's going to be running this or the Lumineth. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I didn't know he played Lumineth. A lot of respect just lost, but we've got a Castigator spam Stormcast
baby.
in Celestial Warbringers.
The first time I saw this, I was just like, why is 6 Castigators a reinforced unit? And I'm like, oh yeah, the units are 3 because you buy them in that little box.
There's a little box that
for little
I've
Timmy.
Got one.
You know?
You've got one. Yeah. We've all got that box of 3. Big fan of the Stormstrike Chariot. I think that's a great unit. A Taurolon to buff up his Castigators.
Yep.
Plus when it flies over and gets all sparkly on stuff. Encounter to cast the Comet and then the unshootable Relictor, which is Mirror Shield even worth it anymore?
Yeah. Well, now he definitely cannot be shot. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, at no point. Our Castigator is good. We'll find out.
He's built around it. Like this is a well constructed army around the Castigators. It's just whether the Castigators can do it.
Work. This will be how you do it. It's just has he barked up the wrong tree, and we'll find out. I hope he's right. I think that'll be fun.
All right, Nighthorn with Quicksilver Dead. I'm so tired of talking about Nighthorn. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip this. Yep.
Got Purple Sun in it.
It's just like originally Nighthorn is still kind of the same War Scroll copy and pasted. So,
this is a team tournament, so it's going to get rid of your Nurgle and your Fire Slayers. We've seen it. We've talked about it. It feels like we've talked about this. There's a lot of Gits popping up, man. I think every team's got one so far.
Yeah, Gits with Hoppers and Double Palooza. He doesn't have the full 30.
You can take 2 Golapalooza. What?
Yeah, they're not unique, and they're Rend buff stacks. So you can use like -2 Rend. Yeah.
Oh my fuck.
So the Squeak. Well, he doesn't have a unit of 30, but the 20 Squeak Hoppers could have like -3 Rend, mortals on 6s to hit and mortals on 6s to wound. With, he's not the Jaws of Morg, so they're only 3 attacks each on the charge, but still enough to kill anything.
This is a good time to answer a quick question that I saw posted in the chat. When do you want Hoppers and when do you want Bounders? Was the question asked by very real in the chat.
So, look, in my opinion, if you're trying to just construct like a unit that you send in to kill stuff that's not going to that rally back, then Boyngrat's are better. But if you're looking for something that you can send in, tie your opponent up, it dies, and then, goes down to 5 models and then you rally it back, that kind of playstyle, then the Hoppers are better. So basically, the Hoppers, you bring them back through rallying, and the Boyngrat's, you bring them back through the Shrine. That's more or less my way of thinking about it. Yeah. Of course, you could run 15 Boyngrat's.
Or you could just run 15 Boyngrat's.
And then rally them as well. But, yeah.
We're saying that the Gits is all strong. It's all, you can't sleep on it. So, that's going to be doing some stuff. the reason why Thief didn't go Slaves of Darkness is because
Yeah, they
one
have
of his mates
Archeon.
already did.
And
Yeah.
we
This
have
is
Archeon with
Detro.
Chaos
No,
Knights.
Detro's been running this. Detro's been running this. He pushed my Purim with it once. It's
It's good.
Archeon, all the knights. It double turns you and you lose.
With the 1-drop, yeah. That is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and you've got a slightly better chance of getting the double turn because the way that Archeon is now a direct 50-50 as opposed to a slightly more, slightly less because of you remove the ties because you don't do that when you roll your own.
I mean,
dice, so.
if you're playing against it, I mean, you know when you're going to be double turned though, so there's going to be heaps of counterplay, right?
No.
I love that. It's like you're getting double turn. It's like great.
No.
That's a great piece of information. What do I do with that? Just accept my fate.
It's super strong. We've got a Zilfrid list. Has it got frigates or has it got ironclads? Frigate.
Yeah, frigate.
And quite a lot more Arcanauts than you know. I've got both frigate and an ironclad.
Yeah, that's good. With 6 riggers.
KO. It's got it's balanced. It's got 6 riggers. It's got Arcanaut. It hasn't got the prime. Oh, it has got. It
has the prime. Yeah.
This has got a lot in it. This has got a lot in it. I like this.
Yeah.
A good mix. Lots of tools in this list.
Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, what do we think of this team?
They were bringing some heat, man.
Yeah.
They've got the Nighthorn. They've got the Tzeentch. Got the double. In fact, yeah. But all of these lists are pretty nasty. In terms of strength of their lists, actually, I think it's quite well constructed for a team format as well. You've got a good mix of shooting, a good mix of control, a good mix of highly aggressive double turn melee armies with like the Archeon list. I'm gonna give this 8 based on the strength of the lists.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think these are just as strong as the French lists that we've seen. That's strong.
All right, I need to head off soon, so we need to go into speed through.
Rattle through.
We've got.
But we've come to your team, Stuart.
Yep. So this is my team, headed up by Luke Morton. We've gone for like a Star Wars theme with the with the names here. Yeah, I think the best one I got here was Darren Watson as Jar Jar Binks. I think is the best casting I've done so far. I think he'd do a great Jar Jar. Yeah,
he
so
would do a great Jar Jar.
Okay, so we have Tzeentch, Gitz, Soul Black Gravelords, Lumineth, Ogres, Sylvaneth, Slaves of Darkness, and Stormcast. So yeah, we got Tzeentch.
Slightly surprised to see Ogres, but the rest of this is what you'd expect. I think this is all of the top lists that you're seeing at the moment. Slightly more balanced.
Dude, this Tzeentch list is horrific.
Yeah,
20 pinks
it's awful.
with a cockatrice sitting behind them, so you can only hit on 6s in combat. Heaps of fun.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, yeah. On a 4-up, you take D3 mortar wounds, and you can only hit on 6s. So you just sit that in the middle versus a melee army. It's just if you roll the 4-up, it's just pure depression mode.
Oh man, that's awful.
This list is horrible.
What's next?
My list,
Your list.
With 30 hoppers, 60 shooters, 20 shooters, 2 units of 5 fanatics, another unit of spore platters fanatics, and then
Big unit of shooters, man. That's a lot of shooters.
Yep. Shoot the screen off with the shooters and go in with the hoppers. That's the aim of the game, because the shooters now have 120 shots, so it's enough to kill stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
And then all the buffs. Yeah,
yep.
No, I like it. How have you been doing with it so far? You been smashing people with this?
Yeah, I don't like to toot my own horn about it too much though. I don't know. The army is in a ridiculous state.
Do you feel bad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Should you feel bad? I think you should.
Yeah, it's complete filth. Anyway, then we have a million zombies with 6 heroes. And we almost didn't run this because we were trying to palm it off to each other. We're just like, does anyone want to run this? Because we know it's good, but it's like, oh man, this is the pure boring list. Yep, zombies. We have Techless with Sentinels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not trying to get any best what's it called? Best sport awards, are you?
We have the best ogre list, which is Kragnos, Tyrants,
This is the
and
best
Gluttons.
ogre list.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best ogre list. This is really good.
Yeah.
Have you gone? Yeah, you've gone for. You haven't gone for the cloak on one of the tyrants.
No,
Which I liked.
I have that. So we had
Oh,
to
you have the
sacrifice
cloak.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the ogres, with the gluttons as well. That's super good list. And this is Math Mallows.
Yep.
Tried
Dude, I
and
have no
tested
idea what this
Alaria with
does.
both. You don't need to, because
No.
Matt surely does.
He's the only one who knows how to play
know,
this. So.
Recently went 5-0 with Sylvaneth, so if
Yep.
anyone knows what he's doing, it's Matt. And
Yep.
super good in the team format, I think.
And
So
then we
I
have
like that.
slaves
And then
with
you've got
the copy
the
pasta.
Vanguard and Chosen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a copy pasta this list. And then we
Right,
have
you got one more list. It's the Vexillor list.
yeah, which is Karazite and Vexillors with some Vanguard Hunters just to cap objectives and stuff. So this is probably what I'll be playing most of the event. Me or Luke Morton will be playing this. Yeah.
A bunch of absolute tryhards. You know, this is these right. Just so if you don't know these guys, these are all super top tier players. It's a bit of an assorted super group. And they're bringing the best lists. Bully them, make them feel bad. They're trying to bully you with their lists. In terms of strength, like this is the strongest team in terms of lists, in my opinion. So this is the 9 or 10. But I'm friends with a lot of these guys, so I've got to rag them and say that they're going to lose or something like that. But this is really strong, and they don't care about your play experience. They want to win. There's a lot of Lumineth. There's a lot of no fun involved, and I think you should all feel bad.
Okay, out of all of them, which is the most fun list, do you think?
The ogres. I really like the ogre list.
Okay.
It's still really fucking good. It's still really good, but
What are you giving us as a rating out of 10?
I gave you a 9. I gave you a 10. I gave you a 10.
Okay. All right.
Maybe 9 because it's you. Yeah, Luke Morton's on the team, so it's a 9.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll just talk about. I've actually got a copy of Ragtag down the bottom here. That was the problem. Then we have Chess Clock O'Clock. Great team name.
Great
by
name.
the way. Yeah. With some absolute legends. This is like this is a true TTS legend team. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
So they're running. One moment. Doc, Mangakin and Nurgle, Fire Slayers, Lumineth, Skaven, Sylvaneth, Khorne, and Gitz. Kind of interesting.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Santharkai Kai
This first list
with a million blood sisters.
Yeah, you've
like
heard of Marathi and the Bow Snakes. This is Stabby Snakes and the Stabby Snakes.
Yeah, this is when the band breaks up and they do like the drummer goes on like a solo tour or something and tries to make it work. So,
yeah,
it's a good list.
Plays bass for some reason. Yeah. Okay. No, this is gonna hurt in melee. Snakes are strong. They're gonna get up to all sorts of jank. And they do a lot of the mortal wounds as well. Heart of Fury, so they're going to be tanky against damage 2 stuff. Solid, very solid. Not too as upsetting as Marathi and the Incarnate and all that sort of stuff. So respect there.
Glotkin and Beast of Nurgle.
All of the Beasts of Nurgle.
It's a good list.
Strong. It's been done before. It's good. It's hard to play against.
It's good. I used to run this at the start of when the book came out. It's good. I think drones are better, but still really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Another Fire Slayers list, got a couple of these. This one has all the Volkites in it. So this is going to be relying on the Flame Keepers to get their buffs up and make the Volkites 1 million damage, right?
Yeah, I actually played some guy at CanCon who was using something like this. And he went in with 10 Volkites with +3 damage and did 110 damage to my 30 squid coppers. With 10 models.
So is it every 6 models that has died, the Flamekeeper gives a damage to a unit of Volkites?
Yeah, so as long as you've got just one unit of 10 dies, and you just stand all your Flamekeepers near there, and they all get fully sacked, and then you just blow their load on one unit of Volkites on your turn. Yeah.
Whatever they go into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong, and it's got more bodies and stuff, a bit more options. I think this is actually quite a strong Fire Slayers list.
Yeah, it's hard to play though. Like it's actually really hard to play properly. This list.
Yeah, you need your Flamekeeper positioning is really, really important. You should be able to dictate where on the battlefield that you fight, because obviously you're still dwarfs, you're still slow. But I think in the right hands will be good.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
Ban me move on.
Techless and Sentinels. I think this
Skaven
is
with.
I think this is Macrat running this, right? I think I'm getting that right. Yeah.
15 drops, which is exciting to see. He's got a lot of Grey Seers. He's got a Deathmaster with I like that, the Deathmaster being able to teleport with counting as 10, and he's got MSU Plague Sensor Bearers.
Have you seen the big threat though?
The damage piece.
Yeah.
18 giant rats.
Yeah.
The hammer.
It's actually so good for its points. It's actually insanely good.
Yeah, there's far more damage than 180 points should. And then he's got some gut runners to pop up and do some damage. And he's got this is balanced.
It's good.
But he's like MSU balance. I think this is good. I like this. Lots of buffs. It's not relying on any one key piece to do stuff. I like it.
Yep, and then we have Sylvaneth.
Dreadwood list. So this is going to have the spike revs in it, and it's going to be wanting to do its double strike and fade, which is obviously super strong. You only get it once, but when it happens, it happens. Yep. You're going to probably use the bugs to go in, strike first, and then jump through the woods, and then a unit of spike revenants is going to do the same, and kill a key unit, and then have a complete reposition of the army and not take any damage back. He's got a few random things in there. He's got Tree Lord knocking about, which is good. Vengeful Skullroot's odd, but I like it. I'd rather see Spitestorm Hive. He's got the Spitestorm Hive. Yeah, so he's got that. I think that could maybe be. I'd rather see that be Cogs, to be honest. If he had the points, I don't know if he does, but if he had the points, I'd rather it be Cogs unless someone else in the list has taken it. The Horrorghast I like. Yep. The Battle Mage giving +2 to charges and the Spitestorm Hive giving +3 to charges. Ludicrous. Those Spike Rider Lancers are going to go all over the board, or they're probably going to be spent on the spikes to guarantee their charges.
So, I think
this on this one of my favourite Lumineth. Yeah, I like this.
So I think this is a Gits counter. That's what I think this is for. I think this is really good against Gits. With the Horrorghast and
that gets rid of the heroes and the Horrorghast, yeah.
And you can always just you just send the Treelor Ancient with Spitestorm Hive, and you just try and charge the shrine and throw it and blow it up, and then strike and fade afterwards. That no consequence for doing that. So, yeah, I think super good against Gits. And yeah, just a really strong army. Khorne, Reapers of Vengeance with this is Geordie's playing this 100% with 3 Bloodthirsters. He has the 6 Skull Crushers in there as well. For your Anvil.
So obviously what the core guys have settled on for this flavour of the month. I like it.
Yep.
And he's got the Wrath Axe in there, which is always fun.
Yeah, this is like super solid, I reckon. This is like, yeah.
Khorne are not a bad army.
Good.
Khorne are not a bad army. Yeah, I like it.
Yep. And then we have Gits with a little bit of a different build. It's got the Mangler Squig in there, which I think is probably a little bit expensive for what it does now, but using it with the Snuffler buff to give him 5-up ward, give him +1 to hit and wound with the Gobapalooza. So he's actually just good, but he needs buffs. That's the thing. So it's kind of a send in with fight another day and move back kind of deal. But it's much more survivable now because of the 5-up ward, and then he's got -1 to hit with the Clammy Howl, and you can put Mystic Shield, and it's actually quite survivable. So yeah, good list. Really good list.
It does remind me of Seraphon a lot the more I think about them.
Definitely.
In terms of it's buffs and the way it works. So, and they were annoying. So I'm glad we've got a whole new one of their books to look forward to. Any more lists on this team? What's
No, that's it.
I've forgotten the name of this team. What was their
Chess
team
Clock
name?
O'Clock.
Chess Clock O'Clock. They're not running 100 million zombies, and they're not running loads of pinks. So hopefully they're not going to get Chess Clock O'Clock out. But there's some strong lists. I think they've got some cool lists. I like the flavour of the Sylvaneth that they're running. The Gits list is strong as well. They've got the ban Lumineth list. What do you think, Stuart? I'm leaning towards like a 7 on these lists.
I'm gonna go with 8, I reckon.
Yeah, what else have they got? Refresh my memory.
They had
the Khorne, the Sylvaneth,
Skaven,
the Skaven,
Lumineth, the Fire Slayers.
Oh, the Fire Slayers list and the Nurgle list.
Nurgle, and then the Dock. Yeah, I reckon it's good.
Okay, yeah, I can give it a 7 or an 8. Yeah, 7.5 actually.
All right, let's quickly just zip through
Yep.
Team TO, and then we'll have to call it.
Well,
So
this is the last team, I think.
yes.
Because this is my team.
Yep. So
and the reason we're the last team is because we missed the deadline because the TOs don't know what's going on in their own tournament.
yeah. The team
we have
copies.
ran the ban list.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we have Lumineth, Feck, Sylvaneth, Gloomspite, Gets, Cities, Seraphon, Beast of Chaos. So, yep. This one is your please ban this army.
Yeah, because we actually want to play what we want to play. Because we've got some specialist players. We've got Hippie Chef and his Feck. He's been running this Morgaunt list. It's a lot of ghouls coming back on a 4+.
Need to roll 4-ups.
Can he roll his 4-up? Can you roll 4-ups? If it does, it's genuinely really hard to play against.
Yeah, it's good.
It
Yeah.
does do a lot. I've got my Harvest Boomer list, Stuart. So this is double bomb. So I've got the War Song and the Branch Witch with the Spell Portal. I was the chap that won the argument to get the Spell Portal and the Arcane Tome. So I'm going to take all of the toys and then lose all my games, just to upset my teammates. If I get the double bomb off, it hurts a lot. So I get the Branch Witch spell and the War Song spell do the same thing, but they're called different things. One is Unleash Spites and one is called Unleash Swarm of Spites. So you can get both off in the same turn. One goes through the trees, one goes through the Spell Portal. Tree Lord Ancient to get that tree up. The Lancers, and I've got an Incarnate because I'm a tryhard.
Okay.
Bonded to the War Song, which gives a +1 to cast, which is really, really nice, actually.
Yeah. Gits?
Orcman is running his Gits list. This is what he settled on. It's a lot of different
This is what
stuff.
I was running before. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know what this does.
Yeah.
The only thing
What
I
does it
would... Yeah, the only thing I would have done is maybe thought about taking another Squig boss, but yeah, basically it's
a lot of squigs. It's a lot of squigs.
It's a Squig herd, a big unit of Squig herd, and then a big unit of hoppers, and then all the buffs it needs to make it just win turn 1. Yeah, he's just gonna 20-0 a bunch of people with it. Yeah. It's just horrific. Yeah.
Good old Orcman. He's a new addition to the Team TO team. He's been mercenaried in. He's normally playing around with you and Luke Morton and all that sort of stuff, but we've stolen him for this one, so good to see him. Tubbs has wanted to run a cities list. He wanted to run Tempest Eye with Condis in. Condis and Crossbowman, so it's like a magic-y shooty list that can move up the board really fast. It's got the Stormdrake Guard to alpha things if it needs to and be on an obnoxious 2-up save turn 1. The bridge teleports the Crossbowman around. It's kind of a mix between the Hallow Heart list and the Tempest Eye shooting list that you've seen cities on before, which is quite funky.
1 drop, of course. Seraphon.
1 drop, of course. Tavi has gone for Knights and Double Basti. We're thinking that there might be a bit of demons around, and it's also just really strong.
No engine, though.
No engine. Tavi's signature engine is not here, so he's gone for Double Basti instead and get an extra bit of damage out of that. You know what this does. It's strong. No one, including whoever wrote this list, because we all kind of contributed to it, knows what this does.
Dude, I have no idea what this is.
This is the Beast of Chaos list. It's got 30 Ghouls. None of the other Beasts of Chaos lists have 30 Ghouls in it, so we've probably got something wrong. I don't know why. I think this was a bit. Orcman and Tubbs are both going to potentially play this, and it's kind of like they wrote 2 different lists that they wanted to play, and then 50-50 split down. This is a divorce. This is an ugly divorce list, and it's 2 things that have been merged together. It's bits in a list with the expat Gargant. But we don't know what this does. We want to find out.
Yeah.
It's double cock. Double
yeah. Double dick. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, sorry. Also, I know Tyler's in the YouTube comments. Yeah, we haven't put the American list in this document yet. We just ran out of time before the show. So unfortunately, we won't be able to review them today. But yeah. So that's all the lists for Release the Beast 6.
How are we doing power wise?
I'll give you guys a 6.9, I reckon. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a lot of fun stuff in there, Stuart. Overall, I think this is a pretty filthy tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think this is really bit of a lion's cage. And there's going to be a lot of big matchups and big players.
Okay. Looks like either my or Luke's internet has died in this process. So we're going to have to kind of abruptly call it there. So thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Stuart, Iron Gustin McCown. Please subscribe if you're interested in more content. And thanks to Luke for joining me. And we will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.